history is teaching white Americans how white slave owners beat, humiliated, mutilated, murdered, and cannibalized their slaves. Accurate history is teaching that George Washington's false teeth were made out of his slaves' teeth. Accurate history is teaching that Abraham Lincoln may have said some words and signed some shit, but he did not physically do anything to free the slaves. The white abolitionists also often get almost total credit for freeing the slaves. I bet you've never even asked yourself what the slaves were doing to free themselves, and the answer to that is most of the fucking work, including giving the ultimatum of war. But then we get a bunch of white people mad that their kids might feel guilty if we teach real history. It's not about your white child's feelings. Teaching accurate history isn't about white people's feelings. But that does sound like something that someone who's only ever been taught a white glorifying version of history would counter with. Ask why we ever felt like we needed to curate a false version of what white people did and did not do to black people to begin with. And then ask yourself why white politicians are verbally attacking real history by calling it slurs, which is by default also the act of calling black people slurs.
So as you saw and heard her ask there, why do y'all have a problem with the accuracy of white history, right? And all the things that white people did to black people. She also talked about what Abraham Lincoln did or did not do when he was a president, right, for black people. She also talked about them not wanting to teach their children the real history of what they have done to black people. And you know what? I absolutely love it. I do not have a problem with one thing that she said. And as I said, and as has been said before, that it is going to take them to wake their people up. But I say that it's enlightenment because somehow that young woman sat down somewhere and was like, word, for real.
Salute. Salute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020. Ooh. We got a lot to get into this fine evening. Salute to everybody in the chat. All those of you guys that might pop up here in just a little bit later. Salute to all of you guys, everybody that's stumbling in a little bit late. Salute to all of you guys. Like I said, what's up? I'm not going to play this clip again because you know what? It is what it is. It seems that, shout out to Uncle D. He's actually broadcasting right now, Dennis Sperling. He's been talking about it. A lot of white folks out here splaining lately. Splaining and confessing and doing a lot of things, and it's been interesting. So anyway, salute to everybody, man. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Alvin Holden. Like I said, also known as Project 8020, Simple Shit TV. This is my channel. This is my podcast. And what do? We take really complex, complicated things, or at least people try to pretend like they are, and we try to break them down to their most simple terms. That's what Simple Shit TV is. What is on the agenda for today? Well, what's on the agenda today is Tariq Nasheed exposes Democrats' political failures. Now, look, you know what? Actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to warm up to that. Let's before we get into that really quickly, let's do this. Let's jump on the old Twitter sphere real quick, because I wanted to talk about my old Twitter feed. The old tweetly D. All right, now it's been a very enlightening couple of days. I can't lie to you. It's been very interesting seeing all the post Kendrick Lamar videos being put out by members of all races, all peoples. It's been pretty interesting. Entertainment trending, Kevin Spacey trending, United States Jim Jones for whatever reason is trending, Jerry Seinfeld is trending, Texas fried chicken trending. Interesting. What else we got? Donald J. Trump. Now, I think this is important. This is something, a piece of news for those of you that do not know or may not be a fan of 45, formerly 45, now 47. Donald Trump says, over the past 4 years, the Department of Justice has been politicized like never before. Therefore, I have instructed the termination of all remaining Biden-era U.S. attorneys. We must clean house immediately and restore confidence. America's golden age must have a fair justice system that begins today. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like this before. Never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like this before. I absolutely positively appreciate it. I second this motion. I think this is a great thing. Makes me wonder what Joe Biden was doing for the past 4 years. What else we got here? This is a good old 47 at NASCAR. Now look, look. The guy gets out of his thing. He goes, he shakes the hands of all of these servicemen. He can walk around under his own power. He's at a NASCAR event. Joe Biden hasn't been to, I mean, he hasn't been outside the house. I mean, even when he was out of the country, it seemed like they were hiding him. So good luck, Joe Biden.
Here to give the command of fire engines from Marvel Studios, Captain America. Now in theaters, please welcome Captain himself, Anthony.
Shout out to Donald Trump, man. Like I said, I'm not a fan. I'm becoming more of a fan. I'm just coming to the realization that all of our people, all the people that we look to for leadership have not been truthful about our president. Now, one more. I wanted to actually show this clip here. This is really interesting. Oftentimes, us black folks, we get to hear things like black on black crime. And I've always said that white folks commit just as much, if not more, crime, but they use this term black on black crime to somehow make black people committing crimes against black people worse than white people committing crimes against white people. Therefore, the penalties for black people need to be higher. That is the hustle behind black on black crime. We need special rules for these black people because they're particularly violent. And that is a misconception that I would absolutely positively like to bust. So that being said, whenever I see an opportunity to highlight, disagreements across the spectrum, people of all shades and hues, I'd like to show those opportunities. So this is a situation where a couple of guys get into it. Let's watch. Ooh. Ooh. The dog inside the car, so these people is hiding. Oh, okay. So big man, he squared up on the little guy. The little guy didn't look like he was being the aggressor, but he didn't look like he was backing down either. Big boy went ahead and put hands on him. Oh. Do y'all know what that sounded like? Let's let it ride. Something serious looked like it happened. Uh-oh. Now, that kid, after he got pushed the first time, looked like he reached into his sweatshirt to grab something. And then when the camera pans back up again, this kid is putting something back in his waistband. There's a camera angle from a security camera. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, we can do this shit.
Oh.
This motherfucker got the fucking mouth. This motherfucker got the mouth.
Oh, he says somebody got a mouth. Excuse my language. Sorry about the language.
What? Stop doing it.
Oh, so the big man was barking. at the little guy. Got it.
Do it. What? Do it, motherfucker.
He's daring him.
Do it.
Uh-oh. Burn up on him again. Here it goes. Oh. Bam. Okay, so big man went ahead and touched up the young guy. Young guy goes into his jacket. Big man tries to stop him. Doesn't get the job done because the young guy manages to get his toolie out of his sweatshirt and commence to bussing. 2, 3, 4. Ooh. And that's how it ended. So that's white on white crime. So here's my question. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the question. I mean, is this worse I mean, is this not gangbanging? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? Is this less? I mean, they just got into a fight and this guy just capped somebody in the parking lot. Like, I thought that was black culture. I thought only black people do stuff like that. Is that right? No. I thought that only black people do this kind of stuff. My fault. Huh? Who knew? I didn't realize white folks be doing dirt too. Salute to this guy, and salute to this man for standing up for himself. He didn't get punked. You know, shouldn't be out here putting your hands on people. What else? Oh yeah. Here, I wanted to, you know, whenever we get an opportunity to, like I said, I want to highlight everybody equally. And so let's go ahead and put this all the way up. Let's put this all the way up. This is 46 child touchers, school workers arrested in January of 2025. Now, I'm sure someone cherry-picked these choices. However, I'm picking up a theme. I'm just saying. Let's continue. Yes. And last but not least,
gets taken out.
Now, we've been saying this for years. For whatever reason, nobody likes to pay attention. But there's some facts around the deaths of some of these men and the situations of some of these men. And I'm glad that I'm not the only one to notice. And it does feel good. When the white man agrees with us. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, a white man will agree with us. And
every black artist or every black actor gets to a certain point, gets taken out. Whether it's Michael or Crosby or R. Kelly or Prince, they all either die under mysterious circumstances,
Nipsey,
or they become troubled and die of an overdose or some medication, or they get done for some sex crimes or whatever. I mean, in R. Kelly's case, every single one of those children were basically sold to him, allegedly sold to him by their parents. You know, and this is, we'll talk. Yeah, maybe that's a conversation for another day. But like there's so much of that in the entertainment industry, but there are no prosecutions of white artists. There are no prosecutions of country artists. Nobody. Madonna's never got in trouble for her 16-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah, we haven't got Eminem yet.
No, where's Eminem? Could it have anything to do with this?
Country stars you're thinking of.
Well, Eminem. Yeah, country stars. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you after the show. No, I mean Eminem woke up one day an angry.
Let me hear that again.
There are so much of that in the entertainment industry, but there are no prosecutions of white artists. There are no prosecutions of country artists. Nobody. Madonna's never got in trouble for her 16-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah, we haven't got Eminem yet.
No, where's Eminem? Could it have anything to do with this?
Country stars you're thinking of.
Well, Eminem. Yeah, country stars. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you after the show. No, I mean Eminem woke up one day an angry lesbian, and with very left-wing politics. I wonder why that might have been. Who knows? Who can say? But it's only ever black artists who get their reputations absolutely ripped to shreds in public, get accused of the worst thing that a person could be accused of, right? And always when they get a little bit too big for their boots, a little bit too outspoken, a little bit too edgy, or a little bit too quote unquote uncontrollable, when they won't take their meds, when they won't do as they're told, when they won't shut up about Israel, when they won't shut up about contracts, when they won't do as the establishment and as the architecture, the machinery of the industry wants them to do, suddenly they're guilty of underage sex with kids, people trafficking, all the rest of it. Well, I mean, maybe the truth is that the whole industry does it. Maybe the truth is that nobody does it, probably closer to the first one. But these selective prosecutions, I'm not a big like civil rights, let's defend black people for the sake of it guy. I don't even really care for the music that much. I like Ye as a singular instance because he's an artist in a slightly different league and a different caliber than the rest of them. I don't really listen to the music from the rest of that genre, to be honest with you. But even I cannot deny that the prosecutions are targeted, selective, and gruesomely unfair in the way that they are played out in public, and the manner in which the juries are tainted and poisoned beforehand.
I'm so glad somebody finally said it. Somebody besides us somebody besides us. I really appreciate this guy for saying this out loud.
But you know, this guy's like on trial, and Netflix decides to. I mean, come on.
They murdered Michael Jackson.
100%.
And
they
Prince,
murdered
someone gave Prince fentanyl.
They murdered Michael Jackson after he started talking about Jews. And I'm not going to say that what he said about them was right or wrong or whatever, but it is a fact of history that, first of all, they released the recordings of a phone call where he was complaining about Jews in some not very pleasant language. And I think he had a similar problem with Jewish people that sort of universalized to Jewish people in general, which every...
Whoa. But that's the truth, though. Whenever you start to pull
every black artist or every black actor gets to a certain point, gets taken out.
When you start to pull some of these threads, powers that be come down on you. But you know, us black folks, you know, we don't work together. We don't work hard enough. We just need to work harder. We need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Because there's no such thing as systemic racism or anything like that. Because that would be crazy. That would be insane. That would be nuts. So we're going to be done with that. So anyways, so I'm listening to Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. And I mean, first of all, top 5 for thumbnails. His thumbnail game is fabulous. So shout out to him for that. And you know, I like the angle that Tariq keeps. Like, he's found a pocket. It's a safe but effective pocket. What do I mean by that? Facts, only the facts. Don't get into the weeds, right? Like, address issues head on. Don't let people gaslight. Don't even let people get it out, because it's a bunch of filibustering and gaslighting being done. And what it does is it takes away, or it numbs our arguments. And the one thing that Tariq is masterful at is just seeing it and cutting it off before it even happens. Now, some might say, oh, well, you don't let them get it out. But he's like, if I already know what you're going to say, and we've been through all these arguments a million times, and all you're going to do is use the same talking points that say the Dems or whoever's using, I'm going to go ahead and cut that right off. You need to come with me in good faith and with creative arguments. And if you can't do that, then you get done like this lady right here. Let's listen.
The Democrats actively harmed us with their policies. Debbie, that's the problem. All of them, immigration policies, just flooding these black areas, and the people in these areas were openly complaining to the Democrats, like, hey, y'all killing us out here, and y'all told us to go to hell, kick rocks, and deal with it. So you deal with it by getting put the hell out of office. How do you like those apples here?
And that's what makes you a Nazi, sweetie.
Okay, real quick, I want to talk about that. It seems that the Democrats are leaning into this word Yahtzee with the end of it. And like, you would think that the B-dubs are starting to realize that it's not working. You would think that the Democrats are starting to realize that the things that they're saying aren't taking. People aren't believing them. They're not as effective, which is part of the reason why I think a lot of these black women are about to get themselves fired from a lot of these jobs. Let's remember, all these DEI hires, the majority of them that I knew of that were getting these jobs were white and black women. So, and gay guys. So there's going to be a whole lot of them that are going to be out of work here soon. If they're not already, they will be in the next month or so. But the ones that are still employed still seem to be utilizing these same arguments, these same bad faith arguments, and they're all insulting, which I find to be fascinating. Let's continue.
Yeah,
that's what makes you a Nazi.
That thing. They keep calling her that.
Hey, sweetie, me understanding the truth, that's not Nazi.
Hey, watch how Tariq Nasheed flips this though.
You're just saying stuff, beloved. Just because you say it doesn't make
no. That's what makes you an evil person.
Because you say it don't make it true.
Just because you.
Facts, Simeon. I agree 110%. It doesn't have the same. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And the reality is that people don't even open up a book to figure out what it is those people did over there anyway. They just use the word. Let's continue.
What you will not see is the presidency as a
Tariq flipped the word. Let's go.
Democrat. That's what you will not see. All right. You will not see.
What you will not see is another election because he's a damn Nazi. Good luck with that.
And
We don't have.
will not see your feet because your belly is in the way. So that's the Nazi. You cannot see your feet. Okay.
Tariq Nasheed is
That's what
crazy.
Why are you so worried about my belly and my ass and my titties? It's not like you.
Man, because you cannot see your feet. That's what you talking big back babble over there, beloved. That's what you're doing.
Big back babble is crazy. Let's go.
Anyway, Big Deb. All right.
Big
It's
Deb.
fine. Let me let you go back to sleep because I know you got to do that construction job in the morning. You do big back job.
No, what I'm going to do is do the opposite of what you're doing, is be a humanist and feed people and take care of people.
And that person is yourself. You only feeding yourself. That's why your back is big. You don't care about nobody else but big back Debbie. And I'm different. I'm more concerned with the people.
Are you insane? You're the one that's telling people not.
All right. Goodbye, Debbie. Bye-bye, Big
Goodbye,
Debbie.
Debbie. And this is what I was
Right.
talking about, right? Shut up.
She
Just don't-
cannot see her damn feet with that damn stomach from eating all them Jim Clyburn catfish nuggets. Yeah. That old sky is falling shit ain't working. Listen, a lot of the
And that is my point. Like I said, that is my point. They filibuster. So they get in these spaces and then they filibuster and you can't get your point across. They just muck up the system. That's what they're designed to do. Let's
the
continue.
Democrat shields, they're struggling because this whole trying to get us on the anti-Trump campaign, it ain't working. Because we see Trump hadn't done anything to hurt us. Somebody called the other day, like, how come you don't criticize Trump? Criticize Trump for what? Really, for what? What am I going to criticize Trump for? Trump has not done a damn thing to harm foundational Black Americans.
Not a thing.
He hasn't done anything to us.
Nothing.
He didn't. Even in his last presidency, he didn't do anything to us.
Nothing.
He didn't put no policies together to harm foundational Black Americans. I'm going to be very honest.
Nope.
I'm a realist.
Yep.
I am a realist. Like I said, family, that good cop, bad cop thing. See, the Democrats try to play that good cop, bad cop shit. This is what I don't like about the Democrats. The Democrats only talk about racism when they can point at the Republicans and they can point at Trump. That's the only time they start talking about racism. Trump, that white supremacy, Trump, racism. Trump. Man, you're not going to sit here and ignore all of the damn anti-Black racism coming from the Democrats. We're not going to ignore that. We get targeted by the Democrats the most. When you look at Black people who are high profile, when they get targeted by the system, it's under the Democrats.
We get targeted by the Democrats the most. That's the fact.
Central Park 5, that was the Democrat. They like to blame Trump.
Central Park 5.
When he put out that ad, he was a Democrat at the time. They like to leave that out, but it was Democratic politicians putting that Central Park 5 play out there, framing those men. Eric Adams, when they put them charges on Eric Adams, Democrats doing that. Trump got him up out of there. He got those charges dropped. You see? No, I'm not going to sit here and point y'all damn finger. And y'all doing all the damn dirty work. All right? Let's get official.
And that's real. That's real. Like, I don't understand why we really truly think that. I mean, and look, man, I care about my people. I mean, but at some point, you have to start asking questions. Black people, at some point, you have to start asking questions. I'm not going to go full, what's Butterball? What's his face? That Uncle D's was working with, was talking about Roland Martin. I'm not gonna yell and talk about how dumb Black people are because I don't believe that. I'm not gonna believe that. I'm not gonna diminish and talk down to my people and the people that look like me just because they don't agree with me. But what I will do is I will ask a question. I I am an 80s baby, early 80s baby, 1980. And I haven't seen as much, obviously, as some people, but I've seen a lot. And the condition of Black people hasn't really changed that much my entire life. And the same tropes that were around before are the same ones that are still around now. And people have been lying about us for a very long time as a group of people. And we've been behind this Democrat Party for a very long time. Now, we get held responsible for the welfare and the crime and the this and the that and the this and the that. Okay. All right, cool. Are we fundamentally broken as Black people? Are we fundamentally more violent? Are we fundamentally, just terrible people, bad human beings? Of course not. We're in the condition that we're in because some people, whenever they start to get threatened, they start tearing stuff up. Now, look, I'm looking at the situation and I'm like, okay, well, there are some Black people that have been elected into office. We do have some Black people that do have jobs hire, you've got, so if that's the case, and and we've been voting for these Democrats all this time, why has nothing changed? Like, why has nothing changed? Why is it, and why is it a problem when I ask, what have you done for me lately, Democrat Party? What have you really done for me lately besides water down what it means to be Black or African American, or somehow gaslighting me into not looking at myself as an American citizen, but somehow just because I got dark skin, you got to put me in the immigrant bucket. And like Democrats, I think all these Black folks that voted for Democrats need to be slapped just for that alone, in my opinion. Like, they are playing in your face. And especially now that with Doge, and they're finding all this lost money that really wasn't lost, it was taken or stolen. And they were constantly telling you that they didn't have the money. And they were constantly telling you that there was no way they could afford it. And they were constantly telling you that you were unreasonable by asking for reparations, because that's just something that couldn't happen. And we just found $1 or $2 trillion missing just now. Democrats should be livid. Black people that voted for the Democrat Party should be livid. These people have been playing in your face. These people have been playing in our face, playing in our face. Now, look, I'm a Republican. I switched over about 3 or 4 years ago as a middle finger to the Democrat Party when I realized that they've been blowing smoke up my ass for the last, 30 or 40 years. So that's just me. I use my, vote as not only, my, where I want to go, but it's also a middle finger. So I wanted to do that personally. You don't have to do that. That's okay. But all of these Black folks that voted for Democrats, oh man, they don't have your best interests at heart. They just don't. They just don't have your best interests at heart. And it's really sad when, it's really sad when I see how all of this is going down. And I know. Like, for example, all right, all of a sudden now Ayanna Pressley and all these people want to step in front of a camera and they want to talk about reparations now. What happened the last 4 years? What happened the last 4 years? Oh, it's once Black folks are sitting down and you're like, oh, we're not getting any movement. Now you need to throw that little the hook out there, the bait out there, the reparations bait, because you didn't address it the last 4 years. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to think that now all of a sudden you're serious about it. Right. Now, if that's not a hustle, I don't know what is. Like, if that's not a hustle, I don't know what is. Now, who feels good about that? Speaking of that, the Democrats, this is how much they disrespect Black people. Not only did they pump fake Beyonce performing at the DNC, but they tried to do it another time after that. Another pump fake. They lied twice about the same person doing the same concert on a different day. That's how much Democrats are playing in y'all's faces. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is just, I cannot believe that we have fallen for the banana in the tailpipe so many times. And I'm really glad that finally there's enough of us that have woken up that can at least put a dent in that Democrat stronghold that they have over Black people. And you know what? Whether Black people want to admit it or not, I don't know about you, but in San Francisco, even though it's a sanctuary city, the streets are looking and feeling a little bit different these days. Now, we could say it might be ICE, maybe it's the fear of ICE, who knows? But what I will say is that the streets are looking and feeling a little bit different in San Francisco since Trump has been in office. I will say that. So salute to Tariq Nasheed, man. Salute to that brother. I'm really thankful that he is really out here stomping for foundational Black Americans. It's great that we actually have a person that can stand in and take some of the heat for the rest of us. I don't believe, as Black people, I don't think that we need to have a messiah, but I do think that people look for leadership, and they look for permission to do things. They look for permission to pop off. They look for permission to vote. They look for permission to feel the way that they feel for whatever reason. And I think that enough of us now are finally starting to realize that we can lean on each other. We can depend on each other. We can depend on ourselves. Hopefully when we see how much, and I truly believe once we see how much money has been wasted over the past however many years, I think we will start to realize that, you know what, there's a different way besides the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party's been hustling, race hustling and hustling us for a very long time. They've been absolutely hustling us. So Adam 22. WAC 100. Now, WAC 100 is notorious for kind of thugging a little bit, sort of. They try to say he's thugging, but I think he's a street businessman. Street businessman. Street all over the place. Street businessman. I believe he helped start the Clubhouse app. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some government authorities that are keeping an eye on him, but he's doing everything above board. Shout out to WAC 100. And I've been listening to WAC 100 lately, and everybody likes to play the clips where he's talking kind of gangbanging stuff or exposing people or whatever. But in between those times, WAC 100 drops some gems. He does. Some grown man-ish. Like, he drops some gems. And people, they always wait around for the gangster stuff, but then they don't pay attention to the solid information that this man actually gives. And so when I chime in, or I kind of try to catch WAC 100, I'm listening for, the nuggets, the grown man nuggets, the stuff that most people, they breeze right past, they don't listen to. I come across this podcast with Adam 22. Now, he has one show a week with Adam 22. And I believe Adam 22 is a culture vulture. And I don't think WAC 100 is doing himself any favors by even sitting at the table with this guy. However, it is what it is. Now, Adam 22, definition of a culture vulture, if I ever saw one. And he has tried to make, he is I believe an ex-BMX guy turned corn star. So he does corn. And that's, for those of you that don't know, I'm censoring myself. What's up, Braxton? How you doing, bro? So year before last, Adam 22 decides to let his wife, who also does corn, sleep with a big old black buck. The kind of guy that I think lives rent-free in the minds of white men all around the world. I'll say it like that. Tall, muscular, big old dude. I've only seen him dressed. I've only seen him with clothes on. And I don't have no desire to see him naked. But if I was a white man and this was the man that was breaking down the walls of my wife or future wife or relationship, it might give me a little bit of anxiety. I'm going to say it like that. Well, Turns out that Adam 22's wife has been on the internets with said black man once again. So the deed has already been done. The video has been put out. She couldn't sleep with her own husband for a couple of days after it. She was sore. This is from her mouth. So this dude got a chance to watch his wife get smashed out by a mandingo. And they made so much money and did so much with that situation that he figures, why not run it back? Because you know what? I'm not enough of a cuck. I'm not embarrassed enough. I need to be humiliated a little bit more. I need to drive my marriage all the way into the ground. I want to earn this divorce that I'm about to get. and we're going to run it back and do it again. And Whack 100 gives some sound advice. Whack 100 tries to save this dude. And you know what? I think he is trying to be a friend. Whack 100 is trying to be a friend to Adam 22. Right now, we've all been there when we had a friend who was about to do some dumb shit, excuse my language, dumb stuff, and we pop in and we say, hey, yeah, you should not do that. I mean, I'm with you because we're friends, but you should not do that because what you're about to do is a bad decision. You shouldn't do that. That's what Whack 100 is about to do right now. And I find it to be pretty interesting. Let's let Whack 100 tell you what's going on here.
Promo clips, are these old or new? So I don't be knowing what they're talking about. I guess it's a lot of clips going up, something with you and him and her or something. And
okay,
then,
yeah.
Are that old or is that new?
So number one, they did do like a
bunch of content?
No, they did a meet and greet at a Hustler store.
How long ago was it?
Maybe a month ago. And
now look at Wack's face. He's like, oh, so he's like, okay, so now he knows that it's new content coming out. So because people were hitting him up like, hey, what's up with your man? Your man's wife is out here still putting up more videos and doing promo with the Mandingo. What's up? What's up with your boy? And so Whack is asking him, what's up with your boy?
And while doing that, they shot a bunch of Instagram reels, whatever, they're playing on this viral content. But it has been discussed that in the future, you may see the 22ster, Lena the Plug, and Jason Love in a big old sex sandwich.
Listen, brother.
Now let's just chew on that. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Now, does this look like the face of a man that needs to see his wife banged out by a large black man? Does this look like the face of a guy that wants to see his wife getting smashed out by a guy that does it for a living? Like your worst nightmare. Like this guy, Jason Love, is like white boy nightmare fuel. It's like white boy nightmare fuel. Like big old broad shoulders, big calves, you know what I'm saying? Like just a monster of a man, you know what I'm saying? Like living rent free in this guy's head. That is who he is about to lay his wife down with. So Whack 100, he says, all right, we're friends, you know, because us black people, we're such a gracious, friendly people. We are such a gracious, friendly, helpful people. So Whack is going to try to help him out. Let's go.
As a brother, I'm telling you, don't do that.
Why?
I'm black.
He said, hold up. Why? He said, I'm black.
Sandwich.
Listen, brother, as a brother, I'm telling you, don't do that.
Why?
Don't do that.
I'm black.
Don't do that.
That doesn't seem
Okay,
like it matters.
okay. No, listen. No, listen, bro.
Listen.
I'm gonna give you warning. Jason Love, I don't know
Listen.
you, but hey, this is my brother. I got a warning. Look,
Warn
bro,
him. Listen.
dude lining you up.
Don't
He's
do it.
lining me up.
I'm telling you, listen, he's
Listen.
gonna play possum on you.
Play
That
possum.
mother camera come on.
Mhm.
You gonna see the real him.
Mm.
And he gonna have you looking like some other shit. And I'm
Mm.
telling you as a brother, this podcast, don't do that.
Why?
Bro,
What is the worst?
Yo, okay. Is this not one of the most authentic to me? Yeah, I've had a friend that was about to do some dumb shit, and it was like, yo, man, hey, don't do that. I see there's a cliff over there. Don't go over there. There's a cliff. Let me tell you, it's a cliff. Please, let me tell you, don't do it. It's a cliff. And they don't listen. Right? If this were me telling Adam 22, I would be kind of frustrated too. Listen to this.
Thing you think could come of it?
Look at his face. look at his face. Look, he's really like, I'm really trying to tell him, I'm really trying to be cool. Hold on. Look,
don't do that.
Don't do it. Look how serious his face is. Whack 100 is so serious about what he's saying right now. Look. He's like, don't do that. Hold on. Look.
Why?
Bro,
what is the worst thing you think could come of it?
You gonna fuck around and get knocked out, and your girl gonna get pounded out.
Do you think
you gonna get knocked out and your girl's about to get pounded out? Now look, Whack 100, some might say over the past couple of years, he's been pathetic. A lot of things that he said or thought was going to come about has absolutely positively come about. So Whack probably knows what the hell he's talking about. Let's go.
you're gonna knock me out in a room with multiple other people?
If it's you, him, and her, dude is gonna step it up times 10. This is what black people do.
He's actually a very chill dude.
No, he's not gonna be chill. The minute you involved, dude gonna turn into some other shit, and you might take it personal. And if you try to react, he's gonna do some other shit and go viral. I'm telling you, as a brother, I can't tell you what to let her do.
So you think I'm worried about him f***ing the shit out of her in front of me? That's kind of the whole point.
He's like, you are not hearing me. You are absolutely not hearing me, bro. You are absolutely not hearing me. What does Braxton say? Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, RIP are racist white guys' worst nightmares. Oh, they live rent free in these people's heads. They can't. You can throw a couple other ones in there. Just any big, strong black buck is generally. Again, what was the one? I had that comedian we were talking about the other day. This white guy was, he was shook. Anyways, let's continue.
No, then he gonna have you looking like a peon, bro. Don't do this shit.
There's a guy I can bring up right now that me and Lena have shot with, whose dick, I'm not lying.
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yo, Whack is so serious. He's like, yo, you are missing the entire point, bro. You are missing the entire point. You absolutely are missing the entire point. What's up, Broken Blade? How are you doing, sir?
What's up, man?
What's going on? How are you?
Get the damn notification, bro.
Oh, it's all good, man. Don't trip. It's all good. Did you get a chance to catch any of this? This is crazy, bro. Here, let me go to that. Okay. So, that's like way too far, I think. Hold on.
It's accepted across the board by the heterosexual community.
And that's the problem. I think he needs to step outside that. You couldn't really partake.
Watch my woman with another
frequency.
Okay, yeah.
By a
go.
Professional.
Okay. So, we talked about this before, right? That dude, Jason Love or whatever, that pounded out Adam 22's wife. And we kind of talked about it. It was like, this personally, this is not something I would do. Like, I'm not trying to, but I'm also not a porn star, so I get it. But the interesting thing about it was like, again, he was letting his wife hook up with, like, the stereotypical black porn star, whom is super duper well endowed, like all the things good. I mean, it's just again, nightmare fuel for the white man. And he did it. And so what happened was Whack 100 was like out in the streets, and his people were reaching out to him and was like, hey, what's up with your guy? I keep seeing his wife on the internets with this dude again. Like, are they hooking up again? What's going on? So Wack is like, hey man, my people are telling me that your wife keeps popping up in the feed. What's going on? So this is where we are. Let's let it rock.
Maybe a month ago. And while doing that, they shot a bunch of Instagram reels, whatever. They're playing on this viral content. But it has been discussed that in the future, you may see the 22ster, Lena the Plug, and Jason Love in a big old sex sandwich.
Listen, brother. As a brother, I'm telling you, don't do that.
Why?
I'm black.
That doesn't seem like it matters.
Okay. No, listen, bro. I'm gonna give you warning. Jason Love, I don't know you, but hey, this is my brother. I got a warning. Look, bro. Dude lining you up.
He's lining me up.
I'm telling you, listen. He's gonna play possum on you.
Yes.
When that motherfucking camera come on, you gonna see the real him. And he gonna have you looking like some other shit. And I'm telling you, as a brother, this podcast, don't do that.
Why?
Bro.
He was like, when that camera come on, he's gonna be on some other ish. And he's gonna have you looking crazy out here. Right?
No doubt.
And he was like, I mean, first of all, why would you put yourself in a situation like that? Like, why would you?
It's just ego.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Cody Marshall, man. Shout out. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. Salute to Al and the crew. Yeah, the Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about next San Francisco next year? Is that where it is? Are we having Super Bowl out here next year? Is that what I'm talking about? I mean, like I said, I don't mess with the NFL anymore, but salute to Kendrick though. Salute to Kendrick taking full advantage of that opportunity, goddamn it. But salute to Cody Marshall. Yeah.
The first time she did the same with the little dude, you could tell he was hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, bro. Look,
the second the dude himself said he wouldn't have put himself in that situation.
Hell no. Oh, the black dude, yeah. Jason Love, I wouldn't let my wife freaking get banged out by nobody. Of course not.
I'm calling this now. Like, dude told the absolute truth. He gonna turn it up to 11 out of nowhere. She's gonna moan differently with Jason Love than she's ever done with him, and he's gonna fuck with him.
It already has, bro.
Yeah.
It already has. Look, man, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or any of the gists, but I have seen, like, after it happened, I did see a conversation. We did watch a conversation with him, and he was talking about it, and he absolutely looked hurt. Like, he really looked like it fucked with him. And I've seen a couple of interviews with them since, only just because it's like, because honestly, I kind of want to get Adam 22 out the paint, because he's a culture vulture, and he highlights these, he takes advantage of these gangbangers, and he takes advantage of these like gang fights, and I think it's bull, personally. So I would absolutely love to get this guy about the paint. But this idea, like, trying to make men comfortable with being cucked is crazy. Like, that is crazy, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry. The idea that I'm supposed to just be comfortable with like another dude smashing out my wife is out of control. Unbelievable. Just not. Like, that's a non-starter, right? Like, not even an option. I can't even.
Right. Like, you even going down that road, like shut the fuck up.
Right? Like, what are we even talking about? So, what up, gentlemen? I can't believe the Dems are trying to play in our faces. You know what it is? Well, they've been playing in our faces. It just ain't been called out for it. They're finally getting called out for it. They're looking stupid is what they're doing, because they're punching in the air and nobody's paying attention. So let's let Wack finish this up real quick.
What is the worst thing you think could come of it?
That's a good question. What is the worst thing you think could come of it?
You gonna fuck around and get knocked out, and your girl gonna get pounded out.
Do you think he's gonna knock me out in a room with multiple other people?
If it's you, him, and her, dude is gonna step it up times 10. This what black people do.
He's actually a very chill dude.
No, he's not finna.
You see how he did that? Wow.
This is almost like a perfect microcosm of an FBA trying to put non-FBA on game about the system, but how shit goes. Like, no, but all right, then fuck around, find out. When I told you what it was.
All right. Yep. Next thing you know, ICE coming around the corner. Right? Like he's like, and look at his face. He's serious. Like, you know, when you can just tell somebody's like, yo, he's very serious. Like, he's like, yo, no, really. Yeah. Like, he's like, he really said, he was like, F this podcast, bro.
Video. I might have to check this out just for the laughs.
Oh my God.
The minute you involved, dude gonna turn into some other shit, and you might take it personal. And if you try to react, he's gonna do some other shit and go viral. I'm telling you, as a brother, I can't tell you what to let her do.
So you think I'm worried about him the shit out of her in front of me?
It ain't about him banging. He is gonna do something to her, and you're gonna feel threatened or insecure, and you're gonna react, and he's gonna feel threatened, and he's gonna put you out, and he might just finish her off just to prove his point. He will absolutely, positively try to emasculate you. Absolutely.
They probably finish on this face just to assert dominance. Oh, it's so foul.
Oh.
It's something foul.
Yeah, you're probably right, man. You're probably right. You're right. You're most likely right. That is most likely what he would do once he got done.
Oh, that's kind of the whole point.
No, then he gonna have you looking like a peon, bro. Don't do this shit.
There's a guy I can bring up right now that me and Lena has shot with, whose dick, I'm not lying.
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
It would make this, it's longer than this.
I'm not talking about none of that.
It's all good.
I'm talking about, this is the black dude you allowed to have a one-on-one with your wife, right? Now you saying, you gonna get involved, y'all gonna do a threesome, y'all two and her. His natural thing is to outperform you and make you look like a bozo.
To be fair,
make you look like a bozo. First and foremost, I think bozo is a funny ass word, but look. Oh my God, Cody Marshall, this fool said, he said, if we warned you, you better listen. Yeah, I also said, if we warned you, better listen. It's a cold game. Shout out to Cody Marshall, man. What's up, Red Sigma? How you doing, sir? You gonna give her the whole loaf and make her eyes pop? See, that's it. Why would you put your own wife up? Man, oh man. I mean, I just can't wait. Where's Cody Marshall at? Shout out to Cody Marshall, man. Cody, would you let your girl get smashed out by the best Mandingo warrior you could find? Shout out to Cody Marshall. Would you let another dude come through and smash out your wife? Yeah, right. Thank you. Absolutely not.
He's a professional who's been in the game a lot longer than me. Him outperforming me is almost a certainty. You seem like you're worried about that. I'm okay with that. I understand that's probably how this is going to go.
I'm being a brother to you, bro. Psychologically, I know you think you there.
I'm there.
This shit gonna have
You're not gonna spook me. I don't give a
fuck. Spook you, bro. I'm talking all this shit, bro. I respect you. And
hey, he's like, I don't know what else to say to this dude. I do not know what else to say to this guy to get him to understand that his whole situation is in danger. He's putting his whole situation in danger. Unnecessarily, I might add.
Type stuff, yo.
What's that?
This might become some Star 80 type stuff.
Right? Terrible idea.
And Leonard's cool people. This shit ain't gonna help. It's gonna hurt, bro. It's gonna hurt something.
I don't think so.
He's telling them. And look, when have you even heard someone say it like that, though? He's like, yo, it's gonna hurt. Like, you got a gangbanger that's like really trying to talk you out of this shit, bro. Like, you got a real like street tough guy trying to talk you out of cucking yourself again. That's crazy, bro.
All right, y'all see.
Hold on. Y'all see it? y'all see it? Y'all see him. He's right there. He's like, I tried to warn him, right? So when you're getting your divorce and she's taking half of everything, you know what I'm saying? And you're crying with your blow-up doll. Don't say I didn't warn you. I was the only person that tried to warn you. He's going to be able to say that. I've been this guy before. I have absolutely been this guy. I've been like, yo, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I've absolutely been this guy before. Let's continue.
Him her without me there was way more of an opportunity for things to go wrong.
Bro, he gonna go 10 times harder with you there. And if he got you sitting there like, oh shit, what the right? Because I know you one of them dudes gonna say, shit, I can't do that shit. What
do you think he's gonna do? I mean, he does have like a 10-inch dick.
I don't know what he's gonna do, but I know as a black man, the minute he in that pilot seat, and that in his mind is you against him, and he's going to try to humiliate you, bro. I'm telling you.
What would he do to humiliate me in that scenario?
Bro.
Because if he really hard, that's okay. That's just part of what
Good luck to you. Best of luck.
Best of luck, bro. Best of luck. I wish I had an applause. I wish I had an applause. Let you know. I wish you all the best, bro. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best.
we're supposed to be doing here. That's not like a
look at what Wack looks. Look what even Wack looks. Just he is like, yo, this motherfucker is really not listening to me. Look at him. He looks sad. He looks sad because you know what? Here's the thing, man. I think Wack likes the setup. I think Wack likes having a podcast situation that's like out of his normal thing. I think he enjoys it. It's like a different kind of. He brings people to get he brings artists up to No Jumper. Like I think he sees it as a potential great resource, but I believe he thinks it's being mismanaged, and not only is it being mismanaged or not being not taking it in a responsible way, but he's opening himself up to crazy amounts of like you got your wife out, like your crazy liability, like wild liability. I mean, like you just had a kid, like bro, they just got married. Remember, like I don't even think they came back. I don't even think they were back from their honeymoon good when he did the freaking the first time. Like this man's been banging your wife for as long as you have, or at least as long as you've been married, right? Like, so look at Wack though. Look at Wack's face. He looks dejected. He's like, I cannot believe this dude is not listening to me right now.
A bad scenario.
She already said it took a few days after the fact for her to get back to normal to get with you.
I didn't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at his face. Oh my God. I just can't believe that this. I had to when I heard this, bro, because I was just like skimming through, I'm just trying to hear some stuff. And like I said, I was telling the chat earlier. Shout out to everybody that's in the show, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. This is my co-host, my homeboy, Broken Blade. If you guys, it's your first time, welcome to the broadcast. This is normal. Solo Dolo said this is normal Brad behavior. They love that swinger-ish. I mean, I think they do until they don't, right? Like it's all good until it's not. Yeah, like until your wife is like, all right, I can't even be satisfied with you anymore. I gotta go get that other thing over there. You know what I'm saying? Like you could still pay the bills though. You could babysit though. Like you could still do all that stuff. But I'm gonna go over here and get my rocks off. But I mean, again, they are porn stars. So, but I think even a porn star, I don't know, man.
That was enough.
I mean, that's to be expected.
Okay.
I'm sure if I slept with R&B, she would take a few days to recover as well.
Definitely. That'll never happen anyway.
Okay, so basically he was like, I'm sure if I slept with, and he's like, if I slept with your girl, because that's who he's referring to. So he was saying, if I slept with your girl, Wax Girl, I'm sure she would be sore for a couple of days too. So first and foremost, we would have to stop there.
Yeah.
Like we would have to stop there. Like you're out of line.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you want to go embarrass yourself and emasculate yourself on a podcast, you go on ahead and do that. Don't degrade me or try to bring me and my girl into your shit. See what I'm saying? And that was out of line what he just did. Now Wack didn't really, and this is how I know he doesn't want to fuck it up. Because I would have been like, excuse me. You know what I mean? But he was, but all he said was like, that would never happen. Let's continue.
And I'm gonna be. I don't think you like me.
So he threw that out there as in like, I'm trying to throw a shot at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me take some of this sting off of me. But it's like, hey man, like my girl's not out here banging other people. So don't like why you trying to put my chick and put me into it? You know what I'm saying?
The asshole that Adam felt the need to deflect speaks volumes.
100%. Big
like,
time.
Dude, you're not fooling anybody. This ain't gonna be good, bro.
Yeah. Red Sigma says, Whack, buck broken by dude. You know what, man?
Ugh. Maybe.
Look, man, I think Whack 100 sees the opportunity for what it is. I think he sees it for what it is. Outside of compromising himself a couple of hours a week and compromising himself sitting in front of this dude, I think Whack is trying to walk the straddle the fence?
Yeah.
And I mean, I would suppose you would have to draw a line somewhere. I would be like, hey man, like, because Whack 100 a couple of weeks ago did a sit down podcast with, and they each had their significant other there. So it was him and his girl and Adam and Lena, and they had like a podcast that was like behind a paywall. They sat down and had a conversation. That in and of itself is too much. That in and of itself is too much. Bro, I'm sorry, man. I don't want my wife, my lady doesn't need to be around a bunch of dudes or even talking to a bunch of dudes or like up in my business with a bunch of dudes. Unacceptable. Like unacceptable. And if you need the attention of a bunch of dudes, I'm probably not going to be with you. Like you're not my girl. Like I would absolutely positively call it insecure, call it controlling, call it whatever. You ain't about to be around a bunch of dudes. You'll be around me.
Yeah.
And whatever's got to go on at your job, it's at your job. But like a whole bunch of like unnecessary hanging out with a bunch of random men that are not your husband, in my honest opinion, is a bridge too far, personally. But I mean, I'm kind of old school in that way. I'm pretty old school in that way, man. But man, what's up, bro? Shout out to Solo Dolo, man. Thank you so much, bro. He is like I said, he's the other half of my brain. Sometimes I swear. I mean, part of me doesn't even want to we don't have to discuss this as in like this is something that we would even do because I don't think this is even like a thing for us. Black men we might get cheated on, but I don't know that we might mess with a girl on the low, even though we know she has a boyfriend, but knowingly having a girl and that girl being out running the streets is not really something that we co-sign.
And having the play-by-play on the wax.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's even crazier. You're right. I didn't even think about that part. I didn't even you can go back and review that whenever you want to, or it's gonna live in the world for forever.
How diabolical could that breakup argument be?
Oh,
just play by play of the tape. Like how lousy your fuck game is.
Yeah,
You
bro.
don't even have half of that, Adam.
Seriously, like it might be one of the only times where a woman might try to like talk smack to your man about your manhood, and it'd be right. Like she might actually be. It won't be like, oh, you're just trying to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Oh, whatever. Every Beezy says that when they get mad. Yeah. Every Beezy says that when they get mad. Like not like. So I don't know, man. Good thing. Like I said, WAC 100 has been coming around lately, dropping some knowledge, some gems, and I think that he's known for all the street stuff.
Yeah.
But in between, if you really pay attention, he's dropping game lately. Like he's really been putting up game, and he really look, man. I think a lot of Black people are starting to have some pride in themselves. I think that like these last couple of years have shown us that we do need to separate, and that there are great Black people out there doing great things. It's possible to do good business and to operate independent of the ways that we've been doing it up until this point. So I'm proud of that. I think I'm starting to feel that in these spaces. I'm starting to hear some of these guys say some of this stuff and be proud about being Black and saying it with their chest, which I really like. So I mean, even someone like this. Now, like I said, you can't save them, right? Like you just really can't really save them. Can't really save them. So check this out. Imagine if, oh yeah, you crazy. Shout out to No News Podcast. Once again, Cody Marshall. Salute. Check this out, man. So I'm on Twitter. And I see this situation where this guy gets into it with another guy. And, one might call it F around and find out. Because that has become a really solid saying, very appropriate, as it were. And, whenever we see white folks banging on other white folks, I always wonder, I'm like, hey, like, does this qualify as white on white crime? Does this qualify? I mean, is that what this is, a white on white crime? Because because they get real crazy about black on black crime. And since we're the same and we're equal, I would imagine that white on white crime is equal or equally as bad, right? And so that's what I thought. So I saw this, and instantly I'm thinking, man, that's pretty vicious. Pretty vicious going on here. This
looks like Buggery Dudley.
We need to lock these animals up. We need to lock these savages. These are savages. Look, check this out, bro. Please. Uh-oh, big man barking. I mean, well, there's a dog barking, but oh! Okay. Did you hear that? Let's go back. So big man squaring up. He pulling the, trying to punk him a little bit. One of those. Oh! So he pushes him. Push, shove, punch combination, right in the chest. Kid goes back. He catches himself, and what does he do? He goes straight. He goes straight to the belt line, and once he goes to the belt line, big man does what? Oh, he's like, oh, I gotta stop it. So he's reaching and trying to stop it. Well. It doesn't sound like he made it.
No. I see the skinny guy still standing.
And then look. Uh-oh. What's he doing? He's putting his toolie back.
Oh, we can do this shit. Zero, this motherfucker got the fucking medal. This motherfucker got the medal. What? Stop doing it. You are
Famous last words. If that's not appropriate, I don't know what is.
Do it. Do it. You better not let him fuck up.
Do it. Oh shit. And he's like trying, he's like, dude, I didn't do nothing to you, bro. You hear him? Like, hey, I can't lie. He punched that dude he pushed him pretty hard. Like he pushed him pretty hard. Like that dude didn't look. Uh-oh. So you couldn't see what actually happened. This is from the other angle now. Yo, I've never heard it put out like that. He said, "Big man felt that wireless hole puncher." I've never heard it used like that before. I'm gonna steal that. That wireless hole puncher is crazy. Wireless hole puncher is crazy. This was outside a weed dispensary. Isn't that weird? Weed normally slows people down, keeps them chill. Usually people don't be banging on each other outside the weed shop. It's kind of crazy. It's a wild place to be banging on people outside the weed shop. Normally, weed people are pretty chill. I can't lie. I've had lots of really nice, pleasant conversations at weed shops. I've never had an aggressive one. Never. At a weed shop. Never, ever, ever. Yeah, that's crazy. Wireless hole puncher is crazy. I'm stealing that. I am absolutely gonna steal that. That wireless hole punch. Hilarious. Nah, man, what's been shaking you up, bro? These last couple of days, there's been a lot. My mind has been all over the place. There's been a lot of stuff going on. It's been hard to really narrow down the things that I think that are important. And you know what I always try to do is I try to make note of the things that kind of like, you know, when the bells ring or like something, whatever, and then I like sit and wait and see like if the algorithm or the internets will pick up on it, right? And lately I'm like, you know what? I can trust my gut. My gut is my instincts for this stuff is getting better. I think I'm figuring out the stuff that people want to talk about, the stuff that's important. There's like little news articles that kind of seem to want to slip through the cracks, and I'm like, what was that? That's the thing. What was that? Yeah, that's important. I think that's gonna be important. And then like 2 or 3 days later, boom, it pops up, and I'm like, damn, I should have jumped on that a little bit more aggressively. So I'm trying to trust myself right now. So if I were to put you in the situation right now, and I'm putting you on the spot, and salute to everybody in the chat, salute to all of you guys. If I were to put you on the spot over the past, say, week or so, what event or events are at the top of your kind of consciousness right now? Not a trick question, just like even, you know, just like what are you thinking about it?
Heard there was another plane crash in DC, I think.
It was in Toronto.
Oh yeah, Toronto.
I think it might have lifted off from DC though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which low key kind of had my tinfoil hat on, but needs a bit more intel before I really lean into that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, give me a. Are you coming to the conclusion that it was done intentionally or in some way, shape, or form?
I don't have enough info to really like go 10 toes down on that, but yeah, part of me.
Thinks, you know, yeah. I have this. I think that we were up there messing around with a lot of these things that were up in the air, some of which we knew where they were, and some of the things that we weren't. I'm getting the feeling that maybe we were interfering with some of their communications and they're interfering with a little bit of ours. So I'm halfway between that and somebody wants to get out the way. They need him to get out the way, and they're going to do it by way of like commercial plane. And they're like, we're going to go ahead and just like knock a couple of these out the air, cause a couple of situations so nobody like looks specifically at this one.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's my. It'll be like, because all those people lived. I mean, it was a. Well, did you get a chance to see it?
Oh, no, not really.
It came down. Let's see here. They did have a pretty interesting. Okay. Oh wow. I haven't seen. Oh wait. Oh, I see. I haven't even seen this angle yet, bro. Oh. I haven't seen this angle yet. I've seen a couple of other angles. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Because it came in and landed, but it landed and it tipped after it landed.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no!
Sorry about the language. So the whole fuselage was intact. It came down. It seemed like, but they had like Mayday, so it wasn't completely. There was an issue and there was damage. There was an emergency, but as I'm looking at the video, all the wheels are down. Wheel in the front, both wheels in the rear. Now maybe they didn't come all the way down, possibly. Like if you see the bottom of the plane, maybe the wheels are not all the way extended. That's possible. But it came down. See how like it almost like belly flopped? Like it looks like it never, like the back wheels never, because the front wheel right now is on the ground. But the back, it looked like the back wheels just disappeared. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm only, but it looks like the rear landing gear wasn't down. Now they came into the airport with under some sort of a mayday. I did listen to the radio tower right before it happened, and when it happened, I saw another video where I was listening to the audio of the air traffic controllers, and so they did know that there was a mayday. They did know to send people to that runway just before it hit the ground. So they were aware that the plane was in trouble.
Oh.
But because they were trying to give the directions, and the person in the plane was like, "Hey, I got a mayday. Like I'm coming down. Like I'm not. This is not going to whatever." So they weren't completely unaware that that plane was in trouble. I don't know how early that they were informed, because like I said, it seemed like it could be just as crazy as like, you go to flip the gear down, and all of a sudden the gear is locked up and the gear's not coming down. Because that's really what it, to me, like, look how low, like, does that gear look kind of low to the belly of the plane to you? I know we're not professionals. Maybe we don't know what the hell we're talking about. Maybe we don't. But that the wheels don't look like they're extended the way as far as they do to me. But maybe I could be wrong. But as soon as it comes down, watch the wheels disappear. Boom! It goes down, dips. That wing falls down, and then the engine most likely blows up. Fuel gets dumped out. Wing disappears. It's flying down the runway.
Oh fuck! And
then it flipped over on its roof.
Oh no!
And then slid to a stop. But I believe one child might be in the hospital in critical condition, and outside of that, everybody lived.
Cool.
Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into Greek. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. Look at this. This is crazy.
Don't take it with everything. Drop it. Come on. Don't take your video. Put that phone away.
Yo. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my fucking God.
I mean, what if you were on that plane, bro? Like, and you get off onto the tarmac. That's what you see. That's crazy.
Yo, I was just on this fucking plane.
That's probably how I would probably have the same sentiment. Like they're trying to put the thing out. It's on fire still.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this fucking plane. Holy fuck.
With everything. Drop it. Come on.
Shout out to the. Oh hell no. Oh, please don't put that on no black women. Please don't.
Oh shit.
Please don't. This better be somebody.
Yeah, this gotta be a meme.
Oh my God. See, black women messed around and they're finding out. See, this is what it's like when you don't have protection from black men. You get to be the ass of the joke all the time. And ain't nobody gonna stop anybody from doing it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All 80 people on board survived. So everybody survived.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, part of me thinks that somebody's gonna perish on one of these planes soon. If I had to guess.
If you had to, would you think they're trying to perfect the method? These are just red herrings, or a bit of both?
I mean, like I said, bro, this really looked like it really looked like, I mean, can you crash a plane and try, like, do you get multiple attempts at that? I mean, are you talking about people that are just like not in the plane? Is like, here, let's see what we do if we sabotage the gear. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess.
I remember hearing, I think it was Louis C.K. a few years back talking about a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. And like in that book, apparently, like one of the things one of the methods they use to get rid of people that are causing problems, is they send what the author referred to as a jackal to sabotage certain things.
Okay.
To make the hit look like an accident.
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. I mean, shit. Look, man. I don't know if you've been following this JFK stuff. Like all that stuff starting to come out or whatever, and it's like, it's so much of a setup. It would look like it was so much of a setup, and it's like, how is it that all of this information was available as long as it was, and then, we know why.
Someone outside the system.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Called it this afternoon. There have been 5 plane crashes since Trump took. How is it on MSNBC? Maddow insinuates that it's Elon Musk and Trump's fault that a plane crashed in Canada. Their playbook is so transparent, yet they still wonder why they're driving people away. And they keep missing the mark. 100% missing 100% missing the mark. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. What else, bro? I thought it was kind of funny that you said that. What else? Is there anything else that's been popping up? How do you feel? Do you feel like the Democrat Party is masculine enough for you, Broken Blade?
A lot of women are.
Oh, damn, I need to put up. That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that. Yeah, apparently, the Dems are still having a problem with this whole masculinity thing. Allegedly, I think I snapped. Shout out to the Busty Bus himself. MAGA host, no masculine men in the Democrat Party now. Huh? Let's hear it.
Right? I mean, Eric Adams is still a Democrat-ish, right? You think he's masculine?
No, he's about 63 years old. I was going to say Obama. We only say right away who's the most man now. He's slim, but he's athletic. He plays ball.
But is he right that Republican? Well, first of all, let me just show you the numbers because actually the numbers maybe do.
How much do you think that they really are really talking about masculinity, or do you think that they're just talking about being pliable or right? Like I don't know. They say masculinity, but is that really what they're talking about? You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
Justice for young men under the age of 29, the swing from 2020 to 2024 in Trump's favor is pretty significant. 49 to 48, Trump to Harris. It's almost tied with young men. Trump did very well with young people relative to what he normally does. There's something going on here.
No, and I mean this was why.
So he gained like 9 points.
Joe Rogan was so influential in this campaign. Joe Rogan has an.
Wait a second. Was Jeffrey Toobin the guy that got caught jacking off on a Zoom? Hold on, bro. Hold on. Jeffrey Toobin. Zoom call. Hold up. Describe the Zoom call as a disaster of his life. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to double check. Make sure. Because that's the guy, he thought the call was over and he was in a hotel and he was beating his meat and he wasn't off the call. And everybody saw. He got him fired from CNN and he's back on TV again. But he was beating his meat and they caught him. And it was a lot of people were on the Zoom call and they watched him do his thing. So there's that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
An audience mostly of young men. There was this whole big drama about whether Kamala Harris was going to give an interview.
Like, I shouldn't even, I don't even want to see you on TV anymore. You know what I mean? Like you kind of lost that opportunity. You should be a mailman or something from now on. I mean, right? Like, you shouldn't be on TV
Paul
telling.
Rubin's career was shot for years.
Like, I don't want to hear from you anymore, bro. Like, you're not smart enough to beat off in a different room from your laptop.
Interview to him, wound up not doing it. I think it's probably a mistake, although it probably didn't affect.
That's why I don't bring my phone in my bedroom. Just saying.
The outcome of the election. But I mean, I think what that guy said was pretty dumb. But it is not. It is not true. It is true that Democrats have a problem, especially with young men. I mean, that is a real fact.
That in a way it validates what Clay Travis is talking about, because if you're trying to get young men, you're not going to get them on all policy points. No, Joe Rogan knows karate, and sometimes he talk about drugs. That's good enough for me. Pete Hegseth was in Germany this week doing squats with like 220 on the bar outside for no reason. That's what the Democrat. I'm being silly, but
and you know what? One of the other points.
I mean, and again, these guys try to act like working out is like it's like not useful. It's weird.
That Clay Travis made, and I think this is true. We saw this in real time when Trump had the assassination attempt in Butler. That image of him raising his fist and saying "fight, fight, fight" was like a shot of testosterone in the.
Now they keep. Okay, they're describing this moment. What is it about this moment that was impressive to you? Like, what part of it? Because I'm gonna preface it. So, because I keep hearing them say this and they keep using it, maybe not necessarily as a slight, but they do kind of do it to kind of diminish the act, or they're describing it differently than what it really is. What is it about this situation in this moment, if you remember it? What is it about it what was it about the situation that was impressive to you?
The bullet was inches away from taking him out definitively. Death was an absolute possibility, and he was able to shrug that off and not show fear in the face of his supporters.
Thank you. Right? It wasn't just the fight part. It was like he didn't cower like a bitch. He got the hell up. He was like, whoa, where are my shoes? Like, he wasn't trying to run, wasn't trying to dive off the stage, right? And then had the like gall to be like, no, you ain't, get your hands off of me. Get your hands off me. What are you know, like, let me address my people real quick. F that guy. You know, like all of it was defiant. It was like, in a moment when it's fight or flight, he chose fight. Not what he said. It wasn't particularly just that he said. It was that fool, like, when it was like run or swell up and get pissed off about something, like, his instinct was to be mad.
Yeah.
And like that, look, you can't fake that shit. Like, that you can't fake. That you can't fake. Can't fake it. Can't fake it. If somebody is some sucker, if he is on some sucker shit and he's a wimp, it's all the way down to the bones. If you get pressed and it's real, it'll show. Like, that bitch will show up real quick. He said he got training. Man, you crazy player. Shout out to sometimes I don't be knowing what you're trying to say. You got to be careful with that word on the internet. I know Trump is in, but we can still get kicked off. YouTube is still owned by Google. Said I saw some media say it was staged, like a dumps, like some. Yeah, people trying to. I mean, the media did a very good job of brainwashing everyone against Donald Trump, so that pretty much anything that they say about him, people will agree. Let's continue.
The arms of a lot of men. Mark Zuckerberg was like, "Oh my God, he's so cool." And now look at where we are politically with some of these very people really turning politically toward Trump.
Those numbers that you just read, it's been happening for 10 years. This has been happening slowly but surely over time. I think that pollster in that clip earlier had said 2 out of 6 moderate men voted for Trump. Sorry, it was the majority of moderate men voted for Trump. Even over 20% of liberal men voted for Trump. There has been what is seen as I don't want to say a war on masculinity, but there has been this trend in the Democratic Party, or it's at least felt that the left is becoming more and more hostile to the things that are typically men. And you've seen John Fetterman talk about this idea of like patronizing, calling them bros, or that ad that looked like a spoof at the end of the race of like, real men do this. It's like, have you ever talked to a dude in your life? So in James Carville saying, we need to have less like yappy voices and more men talking. And there are many men in the Democratic Party.
Democratic messaging is too feminine. But Karen, what do you think?
Democrat messaging is too feminine.
Is the masculinity that they are attracted to in Trump?
I'm laughing because I just, no disrespect to you lovely men on this. I know. But
here comes the disrespect.
You men or something. You men or something. And I can see the
what. So I mean, like, what would it if a guy was like, you women or something, like, their heads would pop off. What do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying?
Feel of Donald Trump being a very strong masculine man, and I can see him winning over men, because I do agree the Democratic Party, for all intent and purpose, felt like a place for the others, and they tried to take on every issue that the Republicans didn't want. If you want to talk about trans, come here. If you want to talk about LGBTQIA, come here. If you want to talk about men and women, in sports, come here. There were all of these things.
Go ahead. I think we're on the same wavelength. Go ahead.
Anything to distract from Black Americans, come here.
Mm-hmm. Anything. Anything. And again,
We'll
it's
call
not
them
just
other attractive persons.
yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy, bro. And it's not just that though. It's not just talking about it. They were legislating and they were doing things to push that agenda. They were taking tax dollars and putting it directly to those causes and not our causes, not the causes of citizens, not the causes of Black people. Shout out to the International Quiet Storm. What's up, brother? I saw you over on Uncle D's channel earlier. This man is all over the goddamn place. He said, "We told you the masculine men left the Democrat Party years ago, but remember, you don't need no man." Support Black male media. Hey, like I said, hey Keisha, you don't need us anyway. Keisha don't need us anyway. She already knows. Like she already knows. He said, "You don't need us." Shout out to the International Quiet Storm. Good to see you up in here, bro. Once again, everybody, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button either on your way in or on your way out. And also do me another huge favor and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I have been in YouTube purgatory, stuck at around just under 1,600 subscribers for a good long while now. It might have something to do with one, my consistency, and two, lawsuits tend to do that. So, but Uncle D powered through and he made it through. So he had to bust through that bubble. So I think once I gotta be consistent and, we'll be able to kind of get that YouTube purgatory funk off of us because we a little stuck right now. I got a strategy for that, by the way. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't feel bad for the Democrats. I feel bad for my people because we keep getting hustled into voting for these people over and over and over again. Speaking of which, Roly Poly. Yeah, he was popping off. Did you hear him? Uncle D played that clip. He was cussing and he's getting real. He was really frustrated. He sounded real frustrated.
Some heavy sound language in there too.
Oh man, so much of it, right? It's like who did he learn it from? Right? Who did he learn it from? That is mostly all I really wanted to talk about, man. That's all I really wanted to handle. I think that oh yeah. Sure, I guess I'll cover this real quick because I thought I would. Did you pay attention to this ASAP Rocky case?
Not really. Didn't know he was indicted or anything. I saw something pop up on Ben talked about him receiving the verdict, but I didn't look into it.
Well, let's see. Let me find this real quick. I apologize. Let me do this real fast. He was found not guilty, bro. He was looking at like 25 years, bro. They had him. They were really trying to take him out. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me give you. Let's try to blow up the wrong. Let's do it like this. I apologize. I'm just trying to make this as big as I can. Found no. Said ASAP Rocky found not guilty in an assault trial. It was an assault trial. Thank y'all for saving my life. ASAP Rocky was found not guilty following a nearly 4-week trial in L.A. The verdict was reached on Tuesday after the case was sent to jury on Friday. They did not deliberate on Monday because it was President's Day. The court erupted in cheers as the verdict on the first count was read out. The rapper celebrated by jumping up and down while hugging people inside the courtroom before saying, "Thank y'all for saving my life." Let's see here. It says in 2022, Rocky was charged with 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm stemming from 2021 fight with his former friend ASAP Relly, who testified that Rocky confronted him outside a Hollywood parking garage and shot him during the confrontation. Damn. Rocky denies allegations. During the closing arguments on Friday, the defense told the jury that Relly lied to you about so many crucial things. The hearing heated up as Rocky's attorney and prosecution exchanged sharp remarks at the courtroom. Rocky faced up to 24 years in prison if convicted. The pair were childhood friends. Bro, I didn't realize that that was the case.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, some stuff you just can't come back from. You know, some stuff you just can't come back from. I'm wondering if it was him that, because like with some cases the state will press charges regardless of whether the victim wants to press charges or not, right? So meaning that I think part of the whole issue was there was a weapon that was fired in public, and you know there's a charge. Discharging a firearm is a crime in most towns. So that just regardless of whether you're pointing it at somebody or not, just discharging it is a crime in some places. Like Plaxico Burress shot himself. Remember Plaxico in his career was in the club with some sweats on, fell out of his waistband down his leg. He ended up shooting himself, and they charged him for that. And he ended up having to sit down and do some time for that, even though he shot himself. So you can't let weapons go off. So I believe if a weapon went off, charges have to be filed regardless.
Yeah.
While on the witness stand, Relly told the jury that his knuckles were grazed by a bullet allegedly fired by Rocky. However, a weapon was never recovered by authorities, which became the focus point during the trial. Authorities also found no physical evidence of a shooting when they searched the alleged scene either. However, days later, Relly reportedly presented shell casings to police, which he alleged that he retrieved from the shooting scene. Rocky's legal team accused Relly of extortion and argued that the weapon he was holding during the altercation was a prop gun he carried around for security. I think that's actually where he really messed up. He shouldn't have been like that. But I don't know. There may or may not have been video. Relly's attorney slammed the claim, arguing that the weapon was real. January, Rocky turned down a plea deal offered by prosecutors that included a 180-day jail term. Yes, he was offered a plea deal, but was not interested because he's actually innocent. The lawyer, Joe Tacopia, said at the time, True Crime, blah, blah, blah. True Crime's host, Andy Garcia, exclusively told the Post that Rocky's decision was a gamble. I mean, it really was, but shout out to him, man, for freaking staying true to himself and taking that chance. A lot of people fold up. A lot of people fold up, and they what you call it? Yeah, so there was no holster. Yeah, he had it in his waistband like an idiot in some sweat. Short bus. I don't know what the hell. Shout out to Plaxico Burress. So funny story. So Plaxico Burress was in college when I was in college. And he played, if I'm not mistaken, at Michigan State. I could be wrong. And so my freshman year of college, I'm at Colorado State, and my homeboy, Amir Lowe, was actually a year older than me. He was one of the backup corners on the team. And this was like when Plaxico was like, you know, he was kind of like a college phenom or whatever. So, I mean, obviously, I walked onto the team. I wasn't like I couldn't travel with them or anything or whatever. So I'm watching the game from home, and play goes down. Boom! I see Plaxico straight down the field. I see my boy Amir turn his hips. He's running or whatever. Ball in the air. I'm like, yo, Amir's about to make a play on Plaxico. Yo, Plaxico went up. One hand was like, caught that ball with one hand and like snatched it away from my boy Amir, stiff armed his ass and walked out of bounds. I was like, womp, 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 womp. I was like, oh, I mean, you know, but at least it was like a good dude that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't get embarrassed on national television, then at least it's like somebody good. But shout out to you know, A$AP Rocky. He's found innocent. You know, Rihanna didn't bounce on him. I think they're still together. Which is, you know, it's kind of funny how, you know, every other man that's rich, they're like, why don't you hurry up and get married, get a ring, put a ring on it. But then, you know, when the woman's a billionaire, ain't nobody stressing her. It's okay for her to be a single mom because she got 2 kids by A$AP Rocky, right? 1 or 2, at least 1. Maybe I think both of her babies got the same dad. So I think A$AP allegedly. So I think A$AP Rocky is the father of both them kids. So it's just interesting how when it's the woman that's the billionaire, ain't nobody being like, oh, you need to put a ring on it. Why don't you get married? She's like, I'm not getting married. Everybody's like, okay. It's fascinating. Anyway, before we get up out of here, Broken Blade, you got any updates for the people? I know your Patreon is up. I was on there taking a look. Got some cool storyline. Your comic is on there. I love the process. I like seeing the process. That's always I've always thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Appreciate that. I wish need to find a better way to like the pages for the scan.
Well, I mean, let's talk offline. Let's play with a couple of things and see if we can get you whatever, you know, either light equipment or a camera, or whatever is the easiest that you know, or scanners or whatever is the easiest way for you to. I don't know if there's a better way. What are you using right now?
I'm using a scanner app in my phone.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, right now
I use flatbed scanners for like copying pages. If you don't know, they're larger than the typical like 8x10, so it's a pain in the ass. So like,
you
scan one half, the other half, and try to place it together, right? Photoshop or whatever like that.
Yeah. So you gotta and then if you do it on your phone, you don't have to take the picture on your phone, right? You just upload it and it transfers it on your phone, right? So if like you took a nicer image on something else, like a digital camera, you would be able to, couldn't you? So if I took a raw file, because the reason why I'm asking is you can get more detail. So like this camera, 45 megapixels.
Oh, right.
Got me? So 45 megapixels is like 6,000 by 45,000 or something like that. Or like so you got a much larger image, obviously you can turn it portrait or whatever, and then you have a higher quality image, and then you can squish it down to whatever size you need and then upload it, but you have a little bit more information. Anyways, we'll talk about it offline. Anyways, I just wanted you to make sure that you put your the link in the chat, and then anything else that you're working on that you want to talk to anybody about, and then you know, just kind of closing thoughts as we kind of get up out of here. I'll let you do that real quick. What else popped up? Oh yeah, you know what? Before you do that, I think let me go back onto my own profile, because there was one other thing that I wouldn't mind talking about real quick before we get up out of here. Oh yeah, here we go. Now I just want people to keep the same energy, man. And oftentimes, you know, so many times, you know, we get in these situations where, you know, I don't know, like I said, like I was telling you before, man, people go both barrels when it comes to us, right? They go both barrels. when it comes to us. But then when it's somebody else, suddenly everybody gets real quiet, right? So Deshaun Watson will never be able to get from under the stain that they tried to put on him. It ruined the first 2-3 years of his career. You know, endless amounts of money, moving around. I mean, I couldn't think of a worst way to make your way into the NFL, especially being the top guy, right? He didn't sign a little contract. He signed one of the largest contracts in the NFL history for a reason. And then they decided to undermine or destroy his character because I think, in my honest opinion, I don't think that they really wanted to pay him. And so what I think they did was, from what I gather, he's supposed to have services for his body, massages, dietitian, nutritionist, like he's supposed to have all these services through the team. When he came to Texas, I believe this, because his case came from when he was in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what they did was the team was supposed to provide the massage therapists and all the therapy people for him. He's moving to a new place. He didn't know anything. So the team was like, well, look, you just handle it and then we'll reimburse you or whatever. You handle it. So they made him go find his own massage therapist and help on his own. So he goes out and gets like whoever, no telling where they came from, or, you know, word of mouth or whatever. He's in a new place, new town, new whatever. And then he's working with people that are outside of the team. And then, you know, like, you know, he's a big black man, a millionaire, and he's naked on a table. So a couple of the girls hooked up with him. Not all of them, but a couple did. And then they circle back and they try to put charges on him. And once there's like one or two, suddenly now he's a deviant.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here we are. 7 more massage therapists accused NFL kicker Justin Tucker of inappropriate behavior, bringing the total to 16, the report says. We saw what they did with Cosby. We saw what they're doing to Diddy. And again, I'm not a Diddy fan, but look, if the man didn't commit any crimes, like, look, it's not against the law to be a freak.
Yeah.
It's not against the law. Not against the law to lube it up and do whatever you got to do to it. It's not. It's not illegal to do drugs. It's not. Now, it's illegal to sell them, but it's not illegal to do them. Seriously, right? People got NDAs and also, so people agreed to do all that stuff. Now, here we are, a situation where, you know, the kicker was out here taking it. and they want to keep it quiet. I just find it interesting. That's all.
Yeah.
I just find it interesting. I don't know any details, but all I know is that they lambasted that man, Deshaun Watson, on ESPN and on Fox and all that, whatever. And I did send a tweet. I think I did send a tweet. I think I did tweet at Fox News. Where's my profile at? Is this mine? I'm pretty sure I tweeted at these fools, and I was basically like ESPN and ESPN on NFL on ESPN. I was like, you guys need to keep the same energy because, you know, this is, oh hell yeah. Hey, look, for all those Kendrick haters,
hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like bust that horn. Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like bust that horn.
Who doesn't have culture?
Thank you.
Who doesn't have culture? Who doesn't have culture? Everybody trying to be us. I didn't even realize, you know what's so funny, man? It wasn't until, like I said, relatively recently did I really start to, I'm like, yo, they're in Africa wearing Nikes, bro. They're in Russia wearing starter jackets. They got their hat backwards like us. Like all around the world, we ain't got no dashikis on. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not running around with flip-flops on and spears and shit. Like we're not eating bush meat. Like we're not eating whatever soup that they eat over there. Like, so when they're like, y'all don't have no culture, and then they're coming over here trying to speaking like us, talking like us, acting like it's like,
Yeah,
wow.
There was I forgot what commercial it was. One of those fast food joints with Castanet. With like a black choir behind them, like just giving the mad side eye, like no culture though, huh?
Oh, no culture though. Yeah. Listening to the makings of the black church, the gospel, the soul of the black church, and all of a sudden, oh, we don't have culture. They got, like I said, they got these folks talking so crazy about us, and I'm so glad that I'm so glad that all of us are sitting this one out. I'm gonna let all y'all gotta hold your own nuts. We've been dealing with these white folks for 500 years. It's your turn. We already know how they move. We tried to warn you, even though I don't agree with the Democrat Party. A lot of black people saw the writing on the wall and they knew what was coming, because we know that, see, we're citizens. We know that. See, we know how fragile your situation is. And we were trying to help y'all. We know how white folks can really move when they really want to move. And it's unfortunate, but we're going to go ahead and let that happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what I was waiting for also is when the majority of the black Kamala voters realized that Trump voters were not sellouts. They fully understand, like, no, we just thought about it differently. Y'all thinking like T'Challa, we thinking like Killmonger.
Yeah, facts.
But the same end goal.
Facts. Big facts. Big facts. Check it out. Just so y'all know, just a little bit of humor. Looks like this one moment. Hold on, let me move this. Uh-oh. And then it looks like this the next moment. Yeah, shout out to Red Sigma. Real talk. We know our whites. I mean, the more I'm starting to think about it, I mean, I'm being real. As someone was saying it the other day, it kind of was really illuminating. It was like the people that actually give me jobs, or if it's not a black person, it's a white person. Immigrants don't give black people jobs.
No.
They don't give us jobs. Like they don't get. We're not on the construction site with them. Like not in the restaurant, in the kitchens with them. Like wherever it is that they are, it's not. When was the last time you saw? Because like we got the little Mexican ladies cleaning houses and stuff all over the place around here. I ain't never seen no little chunky Mexican woman walking around with a little black woman. Like they don't get down together. They don't work out. They don't work together, right? Like so. Like I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. Let's see. Yep, they practice heavy nepotism. They absolutely do. And I'm not mad at. Look, and it is what it is, right? Like I'm not mad at it. What I get mad at is that when they try to pretend like they don't do it.
Yeah.
That's my issue. It's like, no, you guys are racist as fuck, but then they want to like throw rocks and hide their hands, and they're like, well, I don't understand why you guys act that way. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. All right, you don't understand why we act that way. Got it. Anyway, man, I tell you, yeah, this one was crazy, bro. You know what, man? And this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. As far as our black leadership, there's plenty of examples of causes of us being mistreated by the powers that be. Typically, bully cops or whatever, they ain't got nothing to do, that are got a chip on their shoulder, that are trying to, take out their aggression on us. We know what that's like, right? We absolutely know what it is. Now, instead of our leaders getting behind a cause like that and act like that brother Brooks that they lynched inside the police station or inside the prison, they beat that poor man to death while he was handcuffed, right? Instead of getting behind that cause or a cause like that, right? Suddenly now we're yelling because the money got cut off to Ghana, or the money got cut off to South Africa, or the money got cut off to Nigeria.
What were the F-bombs then, Roland?
Right? Maxine Waters, right? They cut off the Department of Education, which nobody knows what they actually do. And all of a sudden she comes out of hiding and she's trying to protest like Malcolm X. Like, well, I don't understand. So I do understand, but but here, you know what?
It has opened up my eyes.
Hold on. Shout out to the white folks with no teeth.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. Shout out to the white folks with no teeth. Because I understand. Let's go.
I'm 57 years old. First time I've ever been homeless.
Yes,
It has opened up my eyes to how cruel the world can be.
Yes, sir.
If it was not for the African American community and the Latino community, I would have starved to death by now.
Man,
because
I got you.
white people are cruel and they're not kind. Black people have fed me, let me come in their home, gave me a shower, let me sleep on their couch, bought me underwear, socks, and clothes, and I'm so grateful to the African American community. God bless y'all.
God bless you, man.
I'm 57 years old. First time I've ever been homeless.
Yes,
It is
Think about that shit for a second, man.
We super predators though, Alvin. Perpetual drug addicts and e-parsed.
Right? Sexual deviance and such. I don't know, man. Like I said, bro, it's a trip. It's just a trip. That propaganda, bro. That American propaganda was potent. That American propaganda is potent. Because I'm really starting to realize how far-reaching it really was. You know what I'm saying? Along with those Nikes and the starter jackets, and along with that came a reputation. You know what's funny? I was listening to a British person. Man, I'm gonna do it separate. I'm gonna do a whole nother broadcast. But he's in the music space, and is from England. So he does mostly works in the States too, but England is his base, right?
Right.
And he was like, I didn't realize at the time, I thought all black people were doing nothing but crimes and gangbanging and shooting stuff up, because that was the only images of American blacks that we ever got, even in England. So we're not even talking like Timbuktu somewhere where they don't have TVs and radios. We're talking about our actual like sister country on the other side of the ocean. And even the black people there got a skewed image of what we are as black people on this side. So there's a fundamental misunderstanding of what we are here in this country. I think that, and people just trust whatever the American government or whatever the American media says, and they don't ever actually do any research and be like, oh, you know what? There was a lot more fighting back than we thought. There was a lot more organization than we thought. The white folks actually tore up a lot of our stuff more than we thought. And they have no idea about how one side legislated out us into the situation that we're in. Like there were literal laws passed and enforced by the police department and the government. And that's the difference between, I think, what a lot of people think about our situation versus what actually happened over here. Shout out the No News Podcast says, what? He said, when you get a chance, browse the Army Manual for Psychological Operation. Yeah, yep. He said Biden made a lot of whites strung out and homeless. I think that's a big problem because they let the pharmaceutical companies go loose, the Oxycontin and all that mess. Nobody did anything about that. All this fentanyl madness that they didn't let any. Look, let's just be real about Donald Trump for a second, okay? Wasn't nobody moving for 4 years. People just let the money go. Everybody hustled up their own. They figured out what their little scam was. And they got their little money off, and they sucked it out of the government, and nobody changed a thing. Like nobody changed a thing. They figured out under Clinton how to like put these NGOs together and siphon money off of the government, and they just haven't stopped since. Yeah. They haven't stopped since. The last 4 years, think about this for a second, man. Like what the hell have they been doing? Trump signed a couple pieces of paper and like took the cuffs off these ICE agents, and all of a sudden now it's quiet over here. It used to sound like the barrio over here, bro. I am in one of the most expensive cities in the country, in one of the most affluent parts of the city. Next door to me is a all-American diner. I've said this a million times, and the entire kitchen and everybody, front of the house, back of the house, everybody is all Hispanic. I think there's one Asian girl that waits tables, maybe one Asian girl that waits tables. Everybody else is Hispanic. All up and down, construction, all Latinos, all Hispanic, all up and down these. There's $10 million, $20 million homes up here. New roofs, new siding, new this, new that, new this. All these last 4 years, I ain't seen a black person with a tool in I don't know how long. Like, not at all, right? So, like, it was the Dems that let this happen. The Dems let this happen. So this guy comes in a month's time, all of a sudden, crickets in this alley. Crickets. Used to be like cigarette butts piled up and roaches from people's joints piled up outside my door out here, outside my window. Man, I ain't had to clean off this sidewalk in 3 weeks. Like a noticeable different change in like
it is
like a noticeable change. So I'm like, well, what the hell have y'all been doing this whole time?
Less than a month, he got stuff done. So like, what the fuck?
To the point to where I can feel it. Like just a regular old American in San Francisco. Like it's not like I'm in DC or I'm not like I'm in a, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a regular old place. And the fact that like I can feel the energy change and I can see like, oh wow, you know what, y'all, something happened. Like something happened. I mean, you could say maybe it was him, maybe it was not, maybe it was just a threat of that that ICE would be coming through. I don't know. All I know is that there was an absolute change when this man came into office. We're talking about we're doing censorship tomorrow. Talking about the speech that JD Vance made in Germany, right? And bro, it was so good. It was so good. It was so good because they were not expecting what he was going to say. And he went up there and everybody was like, and he started talking and you could just start to hear this air get sucked out of the room. And he was just like censorship. And they were like, you could just see him like look inside to side because they're passing all the thought laws over there. So we're going to do it tomorrow. 60 Minutes did a walk along with these Germans talking about their like thought crimes. And I think that CBS thought that it was going to I think they thought that it might go. Like, I think that they thought that people would be like, yeah, you should arrest people for that. And it's like completely anti-American. Like what they're doing over there is completely anti-American. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward how Europe moves, because this is a completely different situation now, right? Like obviously Facebook and what's his face went and kissed the ring, you know, and it went to Mar-a-Lago and kissed the ring and all these tech bros or whatever. But Google still leans left. YouTube still leans left, right? We still can't speak freely on this platform.
Yeah, no.
Like we still can't. So that problem hasn't gone away. However, it is changing. And like I'm starting to hear narratives that I wasn't able to hear before. And it's been interesting to see the Democrats make an attempt to try to like chip away at the kind of podcast space. But they can't really penetrate because they're talking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they're still trying to spew the same stuff that they were spewing a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you know, Trump boogeyman bad. And it's not taken. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's all I got for today. Cody Marshall said the Germans are going to start moving here. No, they sure aren't. No, they ain't. They don't want to come here because we got actual free speech here. At least like the closest you're going to get to free speech here. And once again, free speech is what? It means that the government, what it means, it's supposed to mean is that the government is not supposed to be able to prosecute you for your speech.
Right.
That does not mean that you cannot get yourself fired. That does not mean that you cannot talk yourself into an ass whooping. That does not mean that you can't talk yourself into a defamation suit. Right. And I think a lot of people get that part messed up. It's like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but there are repercussions. The free speech just means that the government's not going to come after you for saying whatever you're saying, but you can absolutely earn an ass whooping. Like you can absolutely earn an ass whooping. So I think that our people need to be a little bit better about understanding where you are with that. Anyways, Broken Blade, anything you want to give us in closing, bro?
Something you said earlier, tried to trigger the brainstorm in me. The Dems are missing the mark. Most Black Americans are Christian. And even those that aren't Christian still have a strong conscience, a strong sense of right and wrong. There's lines that most of us will not cross. And the Dems have pushed, at least tried to push us well over that line. Baby deletions. Pushing LGBTQ agenda beyond what's reasonable, beyond just allowing them to live their lives without being a victim of a hate crime.
Yeah.
They're an outlier demographic. They've tried to cater everything, all the society, to an outlier demographic. Low-key promoting chomos.
Low-key?
Attacking the nuclear family. Attacking masculinity. Attacking the concept of men who that the Bible refers to as the priest of the household. I've heard many pastors give the definition of sin. The traditional definition of sin is missing the mark.
Oh, wait, hold on. Elaborate.
Sin, like the archaic term for it, it's an archery term.
Okay.
Oh, when the person shoots the arrow, they miss the target, they miss the bullseye. That's called sinning.
It's called sinning. I did not know that. Interesting. Hell yeah, I got to learn something today. So whenever someone in archery, when someone misses the bullseye, they're essentially guilty of a sin.
Not necessarily like guilty,
but
they've
yeah. A sin, yeah, sinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing semantics, but not.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Did not know that. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Whenever you I like to follow up, especially when you say something that's like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
No problem. And it goes again, like the left wing, the Latin term for left is sinistra, where we get the word sinister from. Propaganda, in essence, is a lie. And Satan is referred to as the father of lies. This entire party has been built on sin. And the good book says that the wages of sin are death. We usually think of this in terms of people, but I think here we're also seeing this in terms of institutions. I'll land my plane there.
100%, man. That's real talk. And I'm like I said, I'm always thankful when I can get some new information or learn something. That's always great. No, 100%, bro. The Democrat Party, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's been a hustle. And like, bro, I think that for whatever reason, we don't, what's the saying? People don't think that fat meat is greasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
grabbing my left arm for years, wondering what's going on.
I want people to understand that this group of people is just nasty enough to really not only talk about eradicating you and your kind, but are willing to put the wheels in motion to make it happen. And they're patient enough to wait you out. They're patient enough to say, you know what? I might not see a time where this country is free of people that look like you, but my grandkids might. And I'm willing to salt the freaking fields in order to make sure that you and yours aren't here when that happens. And it sucks to say it like that, but I think that people need to understand it. Like, these people that we're talking about, like the theys or the man, air quotes, like, they're truly diabolical creatures, right? Truly diabolical. Right. Like, and again, I hate to like keep coming back to this, but like, let's think about something for a second, right? Like, I was talking, I bring it up all the time, how white folks just like rolled into an entire continent of black people, Africa, and they just started taking shit and like hustling people and making deals and like putting their flag down and claiming it for their country, like, and drawing their own borders and such, like the audacity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that you think that you can do that.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to 2024, 2025, when we're looking at it and we know what it is, colonization. We've seen the fruits of it and what it is. You're basically going to a place and stealing the resources and conning the people out of their stuff. France is just now getting kicked out of western parts of Western Africa, but their economy is going to crash. Because when all those African countries kick France out of there, France doesn't do anything but make wine and cheese. They don't make enough wine and cheese to support the entire country. They've been stealing resources from Africa and making money on it. Their entire economy depends on it. Like, the gold that they're not able to take out of the ground anymore, the uranium that they're not able to take out of the ground anymore, and along with a bunch of other stuff, sand, silver, zinc, tin, all the things that you need to make stuff that they've been stealing from Africa, they're not able to do that anymore, or it is running out. Because guess what? Traore, everybody in Africa loves that man. He's been trying to give up the reins, and everybody's like, no, stay there. We like what you're doing. That kid that came, I think there's like a self-contained, self-sustaining car that doesn't require gasoline that they just created over there in Africa. Traore, the Burkina Faso has zero debt right now. They started growing their own rice and grains, and not only do they have enough to support themselves, but now they're selling to the surrounding countries too. He bought farm equipment bulk and started teaching people how to farm. There's a top of the line heart medical center that he had built that's already up and running. Like, he's from scratch. Forget Western money, get the French out of here, and we can do it by ourselves. The two countries, Niger and Mali, they've got a pact together now. They've got a military pact. They're defending each other and coming to each other's aid if anybody comes around. They've also offered the same. Basically, they're like, any African country can join, but you got to drop the Western puppets. So if, say, for example, Nigeria's president, very westernized, very friendly with the United States. He's compromised. Nigeria, as it sits, they won't allow Nigeria in.
Right.
So, and kudos to them. And I love that for them. I love that so much for them. Like, I don't think I'll be going over there trying to be, maybe there could possibly be some opportunities for us because, and he's given us citizenship. If we want to go back to Burkina Faso, American citizens, American blacks, instant citizenship. I'm not joking.
You need to pay a visit then, at least.
So you know,
that's all we really wanted from an African country, just some show and give a damn.
And then just let us work. Let us go. It's all right. Bet. Let's go. I'll show you what we can do. But you know, but they don't really treat us.
Burkina, Kenya, like the only countries I'm really like might be moving the right way. But
Yeah. Well, unfortunately Kenya's a little bit of a puppet too. I mean, because Kenya, it's all those Kenyan military that's in Haiti right now. Now think about how racist that is. Haiti going crazy, mostly because we caused the dysfunction there.
Yeah.
And instead of us going down there to fix it or try to repair it, we get Kenya from the eastern side of Africa to come all the way to Haiti to deal with the black people. It's the most racist shit ever. It's so racist. It's so racist. But you know, it is what it is. Cody says, I don't mind dual citizenship. I mean, as of right now, I'm not trying to give up my American citizenship, but you know, it might be an opportunity for us to go over there and get a business cracking. You know, he wants to do work. They want to do work. Like, I think it's a good possibility. Anyways, thank everybody that came through. Cody Marshall, Red Sigma, No News Podcast. I think Braxton popped in here for a quick second. Sheridan, salute to you, bro. Thank all of you guys for coming through and hanging out. The International Quiet Storm, salute to you, bro. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out. Like I said, hit that like button if you haven't done it already, and make sure that you subscribe, please. Tomorrow we are going to talk about JD Vance's speech. Bro, the looks in the audience during his speech were enough for me. But I'm hoping that we get back to being American again. I hope so. Wait. I mean, maybe they got some pride now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully, maybe, like they'll be comfortable in their blackness, right? Maybe. Like, they're starting to get some pride, I think. Hopefully.
I haven't seen that, to be fair. Seen that a lot in the Caribbean, though, but
yeah, a lot in the Caribbean. I mean, we got, you know, the world likes light skin, man. The world has, right, like the dark Chinese that have to work in the sun, they get treated like shit, sort of. I mean, obviously not black people, not slaves. Let's don't get it twisted. But there is a caste system. You go into freaking India, there's a caste system, like dark Indians, light Indians, whatever. You go to Mexico, light Mexicans, dark Mexicans, same thing. Brazil, light Brazilians, dark Brazilians, or black Brazilians. You know, you get the same thing. You know, so that's the United States successfully implanted racism everywhere. And you know what? I don't know, right? I was talking about we'll talk about another time. It's just back in the day, you could be Greek and be dark. You could be a Spaniard and be dark. You could be a Spaniard, you could be light, you could be dark, whatever. It just means that you came from Spain. That's what made you a Spaniard, right? You could be Portuguese. Doesn't mean that you were light. You could be light, you could be dark, but you were Portuguese. Bang, you were Portuguese, right? It wasn't until relatively recently did we get into this like, oh, since you're from there, you got to look like this. Does that make any sense? So, like trying to talk about skin, because we were talking about the other day how like Americans can't get past the color, and they can't even get to where it's like, yo, there's light-skinned black people in this country that aren't mixed.
Yeah.
Or less mixed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, but I've met light-skinned black people, but their parents or their grandparents were relatively, like the light part, the white part didn't come in, was like way early. So they were black. They're just light skinned.
Yeah.
But white folks, sometimes it's like, just because they are melanated, they're like black to everybody. Like that's just the American way. And so I find it interesting. I get why people get confused. That's all.
Yeah.
I guess I'm throwing it. I'm trying to make it like it's not all race all the time. People are just like racist all the time. But anyway, Cody Marshall just said, not just the United States, UK, Germany, and other European countries. Yeah. I mean, look, I get it. You know, they won. They're the more diabolical group. Like at the end of the day, it was only the United States that's been the only country willing to push the button on the old nuclear boom, boom. And we did it twice. Think about that for a second. And think about it like this.
You'd rather hazard the whole planet than relinquish control.
Bro, think about this for a second. In the, what is it, the Bhagavad Gita? That's the Indian kind of like, you know, the Sumerian, like the Sumerian tablet type stuff, whatever, right? Like, and they talk about nuclear weapons and nuclear explosions, like in way thousands and thousands of years ago. Like they reference these tools and these weapons. And in all of these stories, these weapons only got uncorked once, maybe twice. And like the fear of what it was, and like it was like it's a doomsday weapon. Like it's not something that should be used. It was like last resort, shouldn't do use, like it, like it's very specific rule, very specific intergalactical rules, right? Like, and this is like some of that stuff that I think that people really don't think about or talk about. I know I was about to leave. I'm sorry, guys, but like in the Emerald tablets, like they it's kind of remember I was telling you about, like they were describing IVF.
Yeah.
And it's like we didn't even know what that was because we didn't know. And then now we know, and then you go back and you watch and you're like, and you read it and you're like, oh, they were talking about IVF, right? Like the weapons are like, oh, these spectacular weapons where it salted the earth and nothing grew for 25 years and da-da-da. And like everyone's like, oh my God, this is great. Like this is crazy fiction. And then all of a sudden we learn what happens in a real nuclear fallout. And you're like, how is it that the 6,000-year-old tablet perfectly described what a nuclear fallout would be? Almost down to the amount of years where we wouldn't see the sun or how long it would take for things to grow back. Does anybody want to ask how they knew that? No? And so same thing about these, you know, weapons. And they made it very clear, even in then, that these are the type of things that should not be used. They exist, but they should not be used. It's a dangerous thing. You can't take it back. Once this thing is out of the box, it goes, and you can't. It's a very serious thing. You can't, right? And here we are. We come along, dumb monkeys. You know, Americans. And not only we create the damn thing, but we drop 2 of them on somebody. I mean, not to mention the thousands of tests that we did. So there's that. So anyways, shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know, y'all do know Egypt had electricity. You know what, bro? It's getting real close.
There needs nothing out there episode. Like we cover the aliens and
Yeah.
Just a we talk.
Yeah.
Wednesdays or something.
Yeah, maybe like on Sunday night. Well, absolutely. Hey, there's been some new findings, man. They're getting closer and closer to finding out. I'm telling you, there's a mountain in Turkey, and I believe that's where the ark ended up landing. And the land of Shem, Chem, and what's the other one? What's the other brother?
Ham, Shem,
Shem, and Chem. That was it, right? Ham, Shem, and Chem.
Just a moment.
I think so. I think that's it. If I'm not mistaken, that place in Turkey might be the beginning of the second to last group that
Solo Dolo got it. Yafet.
Was it Japet? Okay, thank you. See, of course, it would be Solo Dolo. It would be always on point. Nah, you got it. So what's happening is that the Great Deluge, the Great Flood destroyed everything, right? And like, I think what we're not taking into account is that what we live around the coasts, right? So if 10,000, 12,000 years ago, the water was 400 feet lower, then that means most of people would be living closer, wherever we would be living right now would be underwater.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And if there were great floods and great deluges, and especially to the point to where now everything that we're talking about is now under 400 feet of water, 400 feet of water, 40 stories, by the way, skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
Underwater, then at that time, whatever flooded most likely absolutely buried whatever, but then washed it all out into the ocean. There is a wall in Montana that does not look like it should be there. It kind of looks like the bubble, the walls in Machu Picchu.
Yeah, you told me about that before. I forgot the name of it.
In the one in Montana.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the wall here. Let me see if I can find it. Montana. It's called the Sage Wall.
Oh, cool.
Sage Wall. Okay. Now, I believe that the majority of the rest of that wall, there's a big section of it that is above ground. Here. Here, hold on. I mean, this is kind of important. I think this is important. So this wall, sorry guys, it's like one to open up, what you call it. I think I could just zoom in, right? Let's see here. Okay, so this wall, like, look at the size of these boulders. Like these are 300-400 tons, like 300-500 tons. This big one right here, most likely is probably close to about 1,000 tons. So this wall is in Montana. In Montana. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, there were these crazy, they call them glacial floods, these crazy floods that happen. And in Washington and in Oregon, they're called the scablands. And these scablands are, if you look at them, it looks like rocks and cliffs and hills and rolling hills and whatever. But if you look at it from the air, it looks like water erosion. Like it looks like if you were to take a big bucket of water at the beach and wash and throw the bucket out, and like what the bucket of water would do to the sand, that's essentially what has been done to the scablands. But these floods were so big that I can't even describe to you how big they are to like get into your head how much water must have moved to be able to like push this stuff around. Get me? So basically, this wall, if at the edges, it almost looks like it's like somebody like kind of pushed or knocked some of it down. There's rocks. At some points, some of these rocks are. You're like, okay, I could see where the wall was, and then something else might have been over there, but then I'm seeing like big stones scattered down the hill over there, and so it looked like somebody kind of smashed it off the top of the hill. So if you go down into also down in Montana and go a little bit further south, you'll go down and be in these like big old random fields, and then there'll be a 10-foot boulder sitting in the middle of a field, and you'll be like, where in the hell did this boulder come from? Like, where did it come from? It's completely out of place. It got washed from like 500 miles north. So like, people don't really realize this, but the whole like northwestern part of the country is like scarred up with flood damage, but not flood damage from like rain flood damage from like 300 or 400, 500 foot walls of water. To put it into perspective, you know, like when water kind of has been running over the sand and it's got those ripples. So so what happens is, as the water's moving over it and it's kind of rolling over, it's kind of making these like ribbed, what you call it? They're called scallops. Got me? Okay. The ones in the scablands are like 100 feet tall. They're so big you don't notice them. You don't see them until you get in a drone and you get up above it, that you can see. You're like, that is from water. Like, they've got falls that make the Niagara Falls look like little boys in Montana from these glacial floods. Because essentially what happens is water comes rushing down, right? It finds a weak spot that it breaks. It breaks some of the ground off. And then what happens is it starts a little bit of a waterfall as the water's moving across. And this is it's called a coulee. Look up a Grand Coulee. Let me see if I can find it. Grand Coulee. I think it's in Washington. Coulee Dam. All right, so maybe not the dam, but let's just go Grand Coulee. Because what Niagara Falls is a coulee. Okay, right here. All right. You see that whole big ass wall out there?
Yeah.
So imagine another 300 or 400 feet above that was where the top of the water was. And all this water is rushing down. What now you see a mountain here and a mountain over there. Imagine their water goes all the way across the whole thing. Like, it's not just down in this little valley where you see it. See where the river is right here?
Yeah.
Imagine between both of these edges being completely full of water. And then above that is where the top of the flood would have been. And so what you're seeing, this cutout, is what's left of all that water rushing through and just taking all the material and taking it out either to ocean or taking it south. And what happens in a coulee is, once some of the ground starts to break off, the water drops down and starts to swirl around. So you get these like half circle features. That's why Niagara Falls is shaped the way that it is. 3 rivers come to the same spot at the same point. And what happened was the water was tearing away at the bed of the riverbed.
Yeah.
It was breaking it off and causing the waterfall. Niagara Falls wasn't where in the 1800s was like 10 miles the other way. And what happened is, over time, the river basically made a ravine, like tore all the material out. And then it just so happened that at Niagara Falls is at that junction, they figured out a way to keep it from tearing up anymore. I think they actually have to do maintenance to keep it from like continuing to bust up the So that is a little, like 11 Niagara Falls can fit in the Grand Coulee.
Wow.
That's how big this is, right? Like, so conceptually, it's hard for me to even describe how big this is. Like, these pictures don't do it justice. I think you would have to actually like go, this is the one right here, Grand Coulee. Let's see if I can blow this up. So imagine like water another 300 or 400 feet above this. And as the water's flowing over, at the ground underneath the water it's dropping off and swirling around as it makes its way down the river. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like water naturally does that when it flows, right? Like if it's flowing on one surface and then it drops off that other surface, if the surface that it's dropping off of isn't sturdy, the water will tear it up, right? Like it's underneath the waterfall, right?
Yeah.
Like underneath the waterfall, you see like there's like usually like a the water's kind of circulating underneath there, right?
Yeah.
It comes down and usually like right at the bottom there's like a circular hole there. That is what this is. That is what this is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is exactly what this is. This coolie. Anyways, a little nerdy stuff. You can look that stuff up for anybody that's into that kind of stuff. So, but all of that to just say that there are things that have happened on this planet that we have absolutely no idea about, like that are just way above and beyond our comprehension. And the amount of water that it took to do this is like not on our scale of something that we understand what this is. So with the whole idea, with the whole, and why I was saying this was that, one, I think that where we're looking for ancient stuff, I think is like further out to the coast and down about 300 or 400 feet. And I think that there was so much water and stuff that knocked everything down and covered it up with sediment that unless we knew specifically where something was and dug down to it, I don't know that we would be able to find it.
Facts. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But what they're finding in this place in Turkey, I think they found the beginning of the last golden age before things went down and we forgot everything. So if I had to if I had to put it all on a time frame, I would say that somewhere in the realm of 450,000 years ago to 400,000 years ago, something or some being came to this place and started mining on it. They mined on it for a good couple 100,000 years, literally, between here and Mars and the moon, up until about 50 or 60,000 years ago. I think that's when they started to tinker with humans as we sit. And that's when I think that they got super, super big, where they were already super, super big. In the writings, that's where there was a couple of wars. And that was when I think that was the first time they unleashed the weapon, which they talk about the great wind. The great wind that burned up everything and whatever. I think that happened then, kind of came back from that all the way into the original flood. Like not the Bible flood, but the flood that's the Babylonian flood or the Sumerian flood. They came out of that. That's where I think Thoth and like Kuka, who's like Thoth in South America. Yeah, that person. I believe they're the same person. Quetzalcoatl or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe they're the same person. I believe that they're the same being. Thoth, I believe, wasn't just in Egypt. I believe Thoth went to Indonesia and India, and I believe he also went into South America also. And the reason why I say that is because there are building methods that match that shouldn't.
Oh, right.
So I believe that the type of architecture was almost like a fingerprint. And Thoth was one of the three brothers, Japheth,
Ham and Shem.
Thoth is one of those guys, I believe. And I believe he went, scattered out, started building stuff, blah, 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 blah. started putting things together. And then when that fell off, I believe that's Younger Dryas. Nimrod. What was that? Who was that other Nimrod? There was another king. They who was the Sumerian king that used to pick up the lions like they were kittens? Not Nimrod. There's another one.
Nebuchadnezzar, is he?
Nah, but they found his they think they found his Gilgamesh. Thank you. Appreciate that. I got too many things in my brain. Gilgamesh. I think they found his tomb.
Oh.
And I think they blew it up, or they're hiding it. They think they found his body. Because he was a giant. He was a Nephilim. Gilgamesh was like he was half God. That was his whole thing. And I think that they actually found his physical tomb, like 12, 15 feet long. Like he was a giant. He was a literal giant. Like a literal giant. Gilgamesh. And so I believe Gilgamesh was like one of the last of his kind. Like a lot of the things that he went through, again, I think people thought was myth. I think as we start to find some things out, I think we're going to start to realize that he was a superhuman. I think there was X-Men rolling around here on this planet, bro. I'm not joking. I think it was like X-Men out here. I really do. I think it was X-Men out here up until, the flood.
There's definitely some curious things in history that like make notes. Like you said, like with the pyramids, I remember hearing that there's several like different parts of the world with like similar architectural styles, and get hold up for thousands of years. So
yeah, it's like nothing that we make right now will last 200 years, let alone 20,000.
Gets about a damn forest fire. Fuck who's gonna do against a flood like that?
Right? Like what exactly? I mean, we're peons out here. We are peons. We don't know what the hell we're talking about, what we're doing, right? Like nothing that we have on this planet right now would still be up and existing if we weren't maintaining it or taking care of it. We're looking at a dam right here. This is a huge hydroelectric dam that's up in Washington on this, if there were no people there and nobody to maintain it and to take care of it, in 100, 150 years, that thing would break, water would bust through it, and nothing would be there. There would be very little remnants of it even being there. There, you might see the edges of it that tore away from the mountain at the end of it. That would be the only thing that would be left. So the idea that these, whoever made the pyramids were primitive or less than is crazy, because there ain't nothing that we have done that would last the test of time at this point. So there's that. No, man, I think that there's a lot to it, and I'm excited to whatever. But we are going to cover it because there's a guy. I think his name is Matt LaCroix. If I'm not mistaken, he's kind of like YouTube self-taught, at least at first, and like he's been on this crusade for a long time trying to figure out information, but I think he really has like tied the knot between the original flood story and connecting it to the beginning of the golden era, which I would say is like the time where the pyramids got built and like a lot of like these Machu Picchu before the Mayans got there, and Indonesia before those people got there, and some of the temples in India that nobody knows how the hell they got made, and like some of the pyramids in China that they try to hide and not talk about. And there's stuff in Bolivia that looks just like what's in Bolivia looks just like what's in Machu Picchu. I mean, is too much of it looks alike. Even the methods of how they've got like little cutouts in the stone where they put like metal clips, and the shape of the clips are even the same from place to place.
Gotcha.
Like the clips have rusted away and they're no longer there, but the space on the rock where the clips used to be is still there. So anyways, gotta put that kooky on. And he said there's a lot underwater. Exactly. I believe there's a lot more of it underwater. I believe a lot of it. I think, like I said, the water levels were 400 feet lower. I think that we need to start there, and like wherever there looks like, if you like look at the topography and you say, okay, it looks like a town could be right there, or a town could be right there, or it looks like like that looks like a flat area that somewhere could be right there. That would be most likely where I would start looking if it were me. Anyways, shout out to all you guys for sticking around for so long. I'm over here talking smack for 40 minutes longer than I really wanted to. Hopefully it doesn't affect my session for tomorrow, because like I said, man, we're going to talk censorship and JD Vance and international stuff. We're going to do a little international stuff. So salute to all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out. Broken Blade, my man, my brother from another mother, and everyone else, man. Salute to all of you guys. I truly, truly appreciate you. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. We out. Peace.